You climb in your vehicle with your kids and head to the Wildcat game, you want to be safe. Make sure your tires are safe by visiting William and Michelle's at Young's Tire and Wheel Center. You might not need them today. William can give you a peace of mind by letting you know when you will. If tires are needed, they will get you the best tire on the market and Harrisonville's best tire warranty with free flat repair for life of the tire. So stay safe with new tires from Young's Tire and Wheel Center. Decisions on the football field must be made in a split second. When buying a home, it is quite the opposite. Let Carol Looney and her staff at American Heritage walk you through the process with ease. They will make sure buying your dream home doesn't become a nightmare. From the first showing until the keys are in your hand, go with the realtors that have called Harrisonville home since 1981. American Heritage Realtors, office located next to Sonic on Commercial, or go see them at americanheritage-realtors.com.
Hello, everybody, and welcome to High School Football on 4Ts.com. Your Harrisonville Wildcats back in action. Game 3 of the regular season, and they travel to Kansas City on the Kansas side in Overland Park, Kansas. 135th and Schweitzer is where we're at, right across from the Shields Soccer Complex, where a lot of people probably know where that's at. Blue Valley Northwest High School is just to the north of us, and we are at Blue Valley Athletic Complex, ready for some high school football. And Gary, Cats just got to look to get back on track. It's been a rough couple of weeks, and, you know, from everybody, everywhere around, everybody's like, what's going on? You know, what's up with the first couple of games? What's going on? And I said, you cannot accurately depict how this team's going to be this year. And the reasoning by that is their first couple of results are going to be skewed, and they're skewed for the simple reason of the competition they've been playing.
Yeah, I mean, obviously they've been playing up this year, especially because it's hard for them to be able to find teams to be able to play because of their success in the past. And so this year, yeah, they've played state championships in the first two games, or state championship teams in the first 2 games of the year. We're a very young team. Not going to use that as an excuse, but when you do that, you take that chance of having some games like you had. The one thing you don't want to do is you want to make sure you keep your head up and you get back on a successful track, and I think we'll see them do that. I think it's a maturing thing, though. There's always good things about losing, and that is you're going to be if you do it right, you're going to mature from it.
You're exactly right, and that's been a staple of Coach Maxwell's teams over the last 3 years. That they've gone through some growing pains. You know, everybody would love an undefeated state championship where you win by 20 or 30 points every single game. We would like that. Harrisonville got spoiled by that for 5 consecutive years, going to a state title game and winning many games by 24, 35, 42 points a game. But that being said, that's not real football. That's not usually how it's going to be. And, you know, I always go back to, you know, football, sports, and life, the way they go together. One of the reasons that I want my kids to play sports doesn't have to do with them being the best. I want them to be the best, but I want them to have life lessons. Football, sports is life. You know what? You don't always win. You don't always get that participation trophy. You don't always get those things. You know, you like to laugh. Gary, is Gary smiling?
Are we going there?
Smiling and laughing. I think after the last couple of years, everybody knows where Chad Grammer stands on participation trophies. But overall, adversity builds champions. This team's had adversity the first couple of weeks. One of their best players, I'm not trying to put everything on one kid, but one of their best players has played sparingly at that in this first couple of weeks. And you're missing one of your best players against 2 teams that have combined won 11 state titles. So,
well, and with that, I mean, that same player, we're talking about Isaiah Patrick, is the fact that he is not only a good player, but he's also a senior. He brings leadership to the team. when he's on the field and off the field as well, but it's much better when he's on the field and helping them, work through the adversity that they've had to work through in the last couple of weeks. I'm looking forward to a good night tonight. We got kind of the rain a little bit, that we've got going here, but the nice thing about it is we're back to being spoiled and on artificial turf. Last week it was a kind of a hot, muddy mess up north in Maryville. No excuses. Both teams had to play on the same field. But we're used to this, and I think this is going to produce a little bit better game for us tonight.
Well, you go back to last week and playing on grass, and I agree with that to a certain degree. Yeah, everybody has to play on, both teams had to play on it. But I will also tell you this. They've won 54 consecutive games on that grass field. I would imagine one of the reasons behind that is because they get a lot of teams that come up there that have been playing on turf all the time. And it's an adjustment. I mean, when you practice and play on turf 95% of the time, you're going to have games like that. I mean, because you look around the metro area, I mean, I think Fort Osage was one of the last holdouts, and they've got turf this year. So, you don't see it in the Kansas City metro area anymore.
No, you don't. But we are blessed to be able to have the opportunity to be able to practice. I mean, we still got those practice fields down below the main field. But just only being able to put 2 or 3 days of really true practice, because Monday's not a big practice day after games. And then you've got Tuesday and Wednesday are the big days, and Thursdays are walkthroughs. So really only a couple of days on the surface that you're going to be playing on, grass, like last week, does not really prepare you like it would if you were practicing on it day in, day out like Maryville does. And so, but I think we're back to going to have a fun game tonight, so I'm looking forward to it.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, you got to get back to basics. We'll talk about some of the things they got to do tonight and the keys of the game coming up. Right now, it's your pregame show brought to you by Sherwood Community Bank. Sherwood Community Bank, Harrisonville's best spot for youth savings and teen checking accounts. Stop by one of their 4 locations for details. We'll be back with some Stafford and Stafford Insurance starting lineups, some coin toss, keys to the game, and more. You're listening to the Sherwood Community Bank pregame show. We'll be back.
No matter how many things you've had on the menu at Applebee's, everyone has their favorite. Whether it's an appetizer sampler, chicken fajita roll-up, or 3-cheese chicken penne with a side of buffalo sauce, you always go back to your favorite. At some point over the years, every Wildcat has had a meal at Applebee's. The next time you head to Applebee's in your Wildcat gear, mention the Wildcat Special and receive a 10% discount. Applebee's of Harrisonville on Rockhaven Road, Caddy Corner to Quick Trip. Atkinson Funeral Home and Cremation Service has been serving families in the area since 1929. The Atkinsons take great pride in being members of the community. They will soon graduate a 4th-generation Wildcat. With this kind of commitment to Harrisonville, you know Atkinson Funeral Home will be there for you. As always, they are proud sponsors of the Harrisonville Wildcats.
Is quickly becoming a shopping destination, and a big reason why is Birdie's Boutique and Antiques at the corner of Lexington and Pearl Street. Birdie's offers a unique combination of fashionable clothing, furniture, accessories, home decor, and gifts. For the ladies in your life, it's the place to take them. With a little bit of everything, they are sure to make you leave with something new. So the next time you want to go shopping, head up to Historic Square and check out Harrisonville's newest hot spot for fashion, Birdie's Boutique and Antiques.
Teammates on a football field are a must. That's why Cameron Chenoweth of American Family and Lacey Dominick of Shelter Insurance are teaming up to give you options in the insurance market. They know you have choices, and they want to work together like the Wildcat football team to make sure you have the best insurance coverage out there. To see what their team can do for you, call Cameron Chenoweth at 816-380-3996 and Lacey Dominick at 816-380-2700. One of the scariest things to do is to take your car to a mechanic. No reason to be scared when you have the best mechanics around right here in Harrisonville. Colby and the crew at Colby's Car Clinic are all ASE certified mechanics with the latest equipment to keep your vehicle running smoothly year in and year out. Add new tires and being a rough country lifts and accessory dealer? Colby's Car Clinic takes the fear out of getting your car fixed. So give Colby a call at 816-380-3000 or go see them in the big blue building behind O'Reilly's.
Hello, everybody, and welcome back to Overland Park Campus. We are just a stone's throw from Blue Valley Northwest High School. We're at the Blue Valley Athletic Complex. Really cool complex they have here, Gary. Up in the press box right now, really neat. You've got both sides. You have the football side, and then on the other side, you can see, and it's soccer on the other side.
Yeah, the way they built this obviously was preparing for one press box for two fields, and obviously they accomplished it. I mean, you've got the concession stand for both sides. You've got, I mean, it's a perfect way to set up if you're going to save money, obviously, to be able to utilize your resources as good as possible.
And you have three very large high schools, I believe, that use this complex here, and we were kind of going over it a little bit ago with Coach Samborski. I think a lot of Harrisonville people will remember that name. Now the head baseball coach here at Blue Valley, was in Mesa, Arizona for several years, came back up here, helped Wildcats to a third-place finish in state in 2009. Hard to believe we're coming up on the 10-year anniversary of that team. Makes me feel a little bit old. That was back in my heyday, back when third year of doing Harrisonville sports. I got a state championship in football my first year doing it, then third place finish in baseball. I was getting spoiled early on with the state runs, but nevertheless, we were talking to him a little bit, and he was just we were just going over some of the schools they have in the Blue Valley district. There's North. There's Blue Valley. There's Blue Valley Northwest. I think there's a Blue Valley Southwest now, and there might be a fifth, and I think they're getting ready to do a sixth, or there might be four, and they're getting ready to do fifth. I don't know, but there's a lot of them up here. When you hear the Kansas side, Blue Valley, obviously Shawnee Mission, those two have about 12 schools between them. So
a lot of students to be able to separate in as many schools as they just keep the class size down, obviously.
Absolutely. So we're ready for some football, and they're coming off of a loss. The Blue Valley Northwest Huskies, they lost to St. James last week. Team similar, I think, in size to the Harrisonville Wildcats. Coach here, I believe, rebuilding a little bit, trying to get football more involved. I think with a lot of people, obviously the first thing they think of when they think of Blue Valley Northwest is they think of basketball. Obviously, two of their alums played in the Final Four last year at with Loyola Chicago and Ben Richardson and Clayton Custer. We talked about that, spun it all the way back to a Harrisonville spin, as both of them are trained by Luke Cooper, who went to Harrisonville High School. So anyway, nevertheless, you think that was sports first. You don't think football, but that's what he's wanting to do is get back to having people think football when they think Blue Valley Northwest as well, and sometimes it can be a tall order, but see what happens.
Well, when you're spreading the talent out too, I mean, when you've got a whole bunch of students, but you've also got to spread that talent out a little bit throughout the schools, and so therefore sometimes that hurts your talent pool as far as one school or another. And so don't know exactly here. I know we were talking a little bit before we went on the air that it looks like Harrisonville is going to have to play a little bit different defense. The last 2 weeks they've really had to play against the run and stop the run, which they haven't done successfully. And tonight it looks like it's going to be a spread team that they're going to be playing if kind of the past holds true. And so we're going to see how the the secondary is going to hold up tonight. It's been the defensive line, linebackers, and now we're going to have to see how the linebackers and defensive secondary work.
And I'm going to be the first to tell you, and the coach will probably tell you the same thing. The key to a great secondary is a great defensive line. It has nothing to do with the coverage in the secondary. If you have a good defensive line, your secondary is going to look great because you're going to force the quarterback into bad throws to quick throws, and it's going to allow your cornerbacks to kind of sit back and maybe go after some balls and be able to, try to make some big plays defensively. And cornerbacks love when their defensive line's getting them a good push.
Well, and obviously a defensive line can make a quarterback look exceptionally well or exceptionally bad. If they can't get pressure on the quarterback and he can sit back there and have 4, 5, 6 seconds to pick a defensive apart, even the best secondaries can't stop that. And so you do need that push up front to be able to make the quarterback have to make some quick decisions.
Well, and you look at it. I mean, just look at the NFL level with the Kansas City Chiefs. They've struggled defensively in the secondary, and a lot of that has to do with the fact they're not getting a pass rush at all. And if you get the pass rush, that opens a lot more things up. For the Cats, we're talking about, we got the starting lineups right now, brought to you by Stafford and Stafford Insurance, and we'll get to our keys of the game, and we'll talk about some of those keys that we were talking about in just a minute. Harrisonville's best lineup of insurance, Stafford and Stafford Insurance. Give them a call today. For the Wildcats defensively today, you're going to have the defensive rotation up front. James Fuller, Christian Cooper, Trevor Campbell, Brody Rogers, all along with C.J. Caterly, Carson Graff. Isaiah Patrick back out there tonight. We're going to see him. We'll see if he's in limited action or how much action he will have tonight. Hagan Stevenson along with Jacob Poisel out there. Carson Crowley, Jace Reynolds, Jaden Wilson, Braden Tarwater, and Brody Pitts as well on the defensive side of the ball. That is your Stafford and Stafford Insurance starting lineup. Harrisonville's best starting lineup of insurance is Stafford and Stafford Insurance across from Holland Auto Sales on Commercial. So we talk about it, Gary. Keys to me tonight, key number one is back to business. Get back to Wildcat football. Learn from your mistakes in the first 2 weeks. But get back to that split back veer, get back to pounding on teams, and don't fall behind early. I mean, that's been the bad thing. They haven't been able to be the team they want to be because they've blinked the last 2 weeks and been down 21-0.
They've only scored 6 points in the last two games. They were blank last week and scored 6 in the first game. So you're right. When you say start fast, start slow, or whatever, they need to have a good first drive or for good first two drives, offensively especially, because they've not been able to produce and do that in the last couple of weeks.
Yeah, and that's just, like I said, back to basics. Key number two for me is head games. You cannot come into a game and you cannot be worried about what happened those first 2 weeks. You've got to be mentally strong, mentally prepared. Think we're going to know a lot about this team after tonight, what type of team we're going to have this year, because they come out here fired up, play a great football game. I think they'll be fine. If you see some heads hanging, you see some issues out there, there will be some changes that are going to have to be made.
Oh, absolutely. Like you talk about a quarterback having a short memory, throwing an interception and having a fumble, making a mistake or whatever. The team has to have a short memory. The whole team has to have a short memory. They've got to forget about what happened last week, 2 weeks ago, and they've got to move forward and look forward, not look back.
Well, I said it at the end of the game last week. The biggest thing I saw at the end of that game was Mr. Landon George, after the fumble, he threw his hands down. He was mad as all get out with that fumble late in a football game. It was a 30-plus point loss. You're getting turbo clocked, and he was irritated because of that fumble. That it didn't mean anything in the grand scheme of things. That tells me right there that these kids still care. These kids want to care. So anybody that thinks that, it's not up here, I think that they are going to be just fine. And seeing that drive and determination on them late in a football game that they're getting beat by 35-plus points tells me mentality-wise they're going to be just fine.
Passion. They have passion about the game. And he's a leader on the team. So obviously him being a leader on the team and him having that passion that far into the game when they know it's not going to make a difference, that fumble didn't make or that mistake didn't make any difference, him still having passion and being a leader on the team is what's going to bring this team forward in the next 8 weeks.
And last thing for me tonight, have fun. We talk about the passion, but go back to having fun. I think we saw that a little bit in this pregame. They were out there, they were hollering, they were hooting, they were having some fun. And you got to have fun, but you got to toe that line between fun and over-exuberance, because I've seen teams in the past get up and get crazy wanting to go play the Harrisonville Wildcats because they're going to knock them off. And Harrisonville goes out there with that business-like approach, and next thing you know, they beat a team down. And so you've got to toe that fine line. You got to have fun tonight, but at the same time, you want to walk that razor's edge and see how things can go.
Yeah, and another thing, with this playing Blue Valley Northwest, if correct me if I'm wrong, but there's no history here that I know of. So a lot of times you've got history between teams. You had it with Maryville. You had it with Kearney. You'll have it with the Webb City. But there's no history here. So Blue Valley getting up for this game, thinking they're going to try to knock off Harrisonville, that history is not there. And so I think this is one of those games where Harrisonville can come in. They can really get back to where they need to be.
Well, we'll see what happens. Those are our keys to the game. We are going to take a time out. You have been listening to the pregame show brought to you by Sherwood Community Bank. Harrisonville's best spot for you savings and team checking accounts. Stop by one of their 4 locations for details. Remember, FDIC. We'll be back on your Sherwood Community Bank pregame show after this.
It's 6 p.m. and your family is discussing what to eat for dinner. We've all been there. Everyone wants something different. So make it simple. Go to Forged by Fire in Harrisonville for a little bit of everything. Salads for mom, and a wide variety of them at that. The steak for dad, a Boss Burger for your growing boy, and chicken strips for the little one. The next time you need a variety of food with extra options to satisfy everyone in the family, make the one stop to Forged by Fire in the Price Chopper Shopping Center on Commercial.
Everybody has that one friend's house they love to go to with cool decorations and a relaxed environment. The Garage Burgers in Harrisonville is like your friend's house, an amazingly fun place with names of all of its visitors adorning the walls with old racing gear throughout. Make it your place to go next time you want a fun and terrific dinner. With 20-plus burgers, amazing appetizers, and ice-cold drinks, the Garage is your stop for fun and excitement. Now open late on Fridays. The Garage Burgers on Commercial across from Young's Tire.
You need someone you can trust to buy a used car from. Steve Holland with Holland Auto Sales is that guy. Selling cars in Harrisonville for 35 years gains you that trust. Used car dealers can come and go, but not Steve. Holland Auto Sales, with 3 generations of Hollands graduating from Harrisonville, means he will be here for years to come. So go see the guy who the Grammer family trusts to buy from. Steve Holland with Holland Auto Sales on Commercial Street, just past Burger King.
It's happened to all of us. Our printer out of ink and need an important document printed. In Harrisonville, that can spell disaster. Not any longer, though. Kaleidoscope Digital Services has you covered with inexpensive printing services. No more trips to the city just to get a copy made. And that's not all. Computer on the fritz, they'll take a look. Wi-Fi needed for workspace, and even starting a local gaming community plus new board games to try. Head up to the historic Harrisonville Square and check out Kaleidoscope Digital Services on the corner of Wall and Independence Street.
Thank you, Kansas City, for making us the fastest growing Ford dealership in the Midwest. As a show of our appreciation, we are continuing You Pay What We Pay sales event. That's right. Going on right now, you pay what we pay on any new Ford on our lot. All invoices are clearly displayed. The highest trade-in values and the best financing ever are going on right now at Max Ford of Harrisonville. The lowest prices and a hassle-free shopping environment makes us the easiest place to buy a car. Max Ford of Harrisonville at the I-49 and 291 exit, or anytime at maxford.com.
Salon 114 on the historic Harrisonville Square is happy to sponsor this year's Spirit Spotlight, which highlights a different Wildcat cheerleader who has excelled on the team each week. While the stylists at Salon 114 are extremely busy, they are excited to announce the addition of a full-spectrum infrared sauna. This new addition is available to anyone and comes with an array of health benefits. Sessions are available with flexible times and by the minute. That makes now the time to call at 816-651-3722.
Hello, everybody, and welcome back to Overland Park, Kansas, just off the campus of Blue Valley Northwest High School, Blue Valley Activities Complex here. Football field on one side, soccer field back behind us. The track is here. Also looks like they play a little bit of lacrosse here. That's a unique line that I haven't seen on a football field before. As I first got here, and I was like, well, it looks like a miniature, baseball field almost outline, and then I go, I bet that's for lacrosse, and sure enough, it is for lacrosse. We are back on your pregame show brought to you by Sherwood Community Bank. Harrisonville's best spot for youth savings team checking account. Stop by one of their 4 locations for details. It is the coin toss right now as all the captains are out there going over things. Wildcats going to be in their away white tops, white bottoms, blue helmet with the blue numbers and black outline as they are ready for some football action.
I got a question for you. Do we play Missouri rules or Kansas rules? I mean, I'm sure we probably play Kansas rules,
well,
but I don't know. I know there's some differences, but
I think they're few and far in between. I think we go National Federation of High Schools, where they will play, and that's like the national governing body of each MSHSAA and KSHSAA, as in MSHSAA, KSHSAA. I mean, we can get dangerous right there. Okay, so the Wildcats have won the toss. They deferred, so they will get the ball to start the second half. It looks like they're going to go from left to right. Blue Valley Northwest will go from right to left. Blue Valley Northwest, white helmets with the big purple Husky on the top.
And for those of you out in radio land, left to right and right to left. Left to right is going to be north to south, and right to left is going to be south to north for those directionally challenged, I guess.
Yeah, and I'll have to come up with some good towns,
Oh,
every week. We have that. I didn't get to do that. I was so disappointed. I was ready to break out my third in Clarinda, Iowa last week, and I didn't get to do it, or third in Savannah, and I didn't get to do it. I was so disappointed in that last week. I even studied a little bit on that.
You do have Leavenworth north, so you can use Leavenworth, I guess, as north. But
we could do Leavenworth. We can go south, and we
Pittsburgh.
could go Pittsburgh. Yeah, we could go to Lewisburg. Lewisburg's down there. So we got some stuff.
I think Jerry probably knows where Pittsburgh's at. I think so.
Possibly, or we could almost be third in Mound City. I mean, that's way down there as well. So the Wildcats set to go here on the kickoff. That coin toss was brought to you by Sherwood Community Bank. Start a savings at Sherwood to keep some extra coins in your pocket. Ready for our kickoff. Remember to kick off your mornings at Brew Daddy's Coffee, Harrisonville's only drive-through coffee shop.
There is still a little bit of rain falling, and also the wind is pretty much out of the northeast, kind of going southwest a little bit. So, I mean, that could end up being depending on field goal.
And that's another reason you defer in the first half, because you get to pick what goal you want in the fourth quarter of the game then in that situation. So we're ready to kick things off here. Back deep to return it for Blue Valley Northwest. Those purple tops, white pants, white letters is Jake Dolch.
Who's kicking off? I'm trying to.
Brody Pitts going to kick it off for the Wildcats, number 6.
Okay, that's what I was thinking.
And Jake Dolch is back to return it for Blue Valley Northwest. I believe. I can't get him turned, but that is what I was told before the game with my starters. So we're going to wait here. Looks like they're going to let the last 15 seconds run off so we can kick this bad boy off right at 7 o'clock. Be interesting to see if there's any weather that lingers with some storms in the Kansas City area tonight, or if it's just going to be rain. If it's just rain, you can play. It's when the lightning gets involved that you could have a long night, and I just hope that there isn't a random strike of lightning somewhere here in a little bit, because that just pushes us back 30 minutes automatically.
Yeah, and then with every one that comes after it, it restarts the clock again.
And I've been at a game like that before. So here we go. Brody Pitts set to kick it deep for the Cats. Got the wind at his back, ready to go. And here comes the kick. High end over end kick going to be taken back at about the 10-yard line by Blue Valley Northwest up to the 20-25. Hammered at the 25-yard line by C.J. Caterly. Brings the house, and the Cats will be on defense first at about their own 23, 24-yard line. We'll see where they mark it. C.J. Caterly came in there and laid the wood on that one. So here we go. They're going to go with that spread offense. 2 wide receivers left, 2 to the right. Running back in the backfield is Thomas next to Slifer. Slifer, the quarterback. And here we go in the shotgun. Slifer going to hand it right up the middle for Thomas. Thomas is going to get about 5 yards on first down. Going to bring up a second down and about 5 for Blue Valley Northwest. Again with that spread offense, directing traffic. Slifer and Thomas in the backfield. 2 to your left, 2 to your right for Blue Valley Northwest, going right to left. There we go on second down, a low snap, and now keep it himself as Slifer comes up. Good open field tackle by Carson Crowley. Gets him up to about the 32-yard line. Going to bring up a 3rd and 2 for Blue Valley Northwest here. Going with that quick, no huddle, fast-paced spread offense. You see more and more high schools going to that these days. 2 wide receivers left, 2 to the right. Slifer in the shotgun formation. This time he's going to hand it off to Thomas, and Thomas is not going to get a actually going to lose about a yard. Looks like Christian Cooper in on the tackle on that one, and it's going to bring out the punting unit for Blue Valley Northwest. So the Cats get a 3 and out to start things off.
And it looks like Slifer is not traditionally the running quarterback. The first run that he had, I don't think he really that's what he enjoys doing, it doesn't appear.
So here we go. Cats going to be back to receive this one. Looks like Tarwater back there to receive it. And here is the high end over end kicks. Tarwater going to take it and let it bounce inside the 20 or the 30 to the 25-yard line. I don't know if the Cats, I thought maybe the Cats left their defense on the field right there thinking they may go for it on 4th down. Tarwater did not look comfortable back there to return that punt. So the Cats will have their first action of the ball game at their own 26-yard line is where it was blown dead. So here comes Landon George and company for the Wildcats. So George comes out. It'll be the freshman Jace Reynolds back there with Jaden Wilson in the backfield. Wide receiver to your left, wide receiver to your right. Percival off of your right end. Under center is George. Here we go on first down. George going to spin out of trouble and almost gets sacked and then does go down at the 15-yard line. Loss of 10 right out of the gates for George. Good job escaping originally, and then he just slipped at about the 15-yard line and went down. Brings up 2nd down and 20 for the Wildcats. So not the way the Cats wanted to start out, and it looked like a designed pass play right there. So here we go on 2nd and long, and this time they're going to hand it off for Wilson. Wilson gets a yard, maybe 2, and is hammered by that second line of defense. And that was number 40, Iman Injole for the tackle. 3rd down and 18 now after a 2-yard gain. Wide receiver to your left, wide receiver to your right. Knowles to the left, Atkinson to the right. Split backs in the backfield. Here they go on 3rd down. He's going to chuck one deep. Looking for his receiver. Got him up to the 50 is Colby Knowles. A 28-yard gain all the way up to midfield. Going to mark him at the 49, so 27-yard gain, and the Cats in business up to the 47. That is a Troby's Maytag Home Appliance Center first down. Think Troby's first when you think home appliances. 1st and 10 for the Cats near midfield. Wide receiver left, wide receiver to the right. And here we go on 1st down. The handoff, Jace Reynolds, and he gets to the outside to the 40 and down the sideline to the 35 and wrapped up out of bounds. The freshman with a 15-yard burst to the left side of the field and moves the chains again for another first down. That is, think Troby's first when you think home appliances. Troby's Maytag Home Appliance Center. So Wilson and Reynolds in the backfield. We got a whistle and a timeout called. This timeout going to be called by Blue Valley Northwest. They want to talk things over. Does your vehicle need a timeout? Go to Young's Auto Repair and have them check it out right behind the garage on Commercial Street in Harrisonville. We'll be right back.
Salon 114 on the historic Harrisonville Square is happy to sponsor this year's Spirit Spotlight, which highlights a different Wildcat cheerleader who has excelled on the team each week. While the stylists at Salon 114 are extremely busy, they are excited to announce the addition of a full-spectrum infrared sauna. This new addition is available to anyone and comes with an array of health benefits. Sessions are available with flexible times and by the minute. That makes now the time to call at 816-651-3722.
Welcome back. Cats come back out on the field. Blue Valley Northwest back out on the field. 8:53 to go here. First quarter of this one, no score. Cats dig themselves out of an early hole. A first down sack put them in first and 20, but George to Knowles for 27 yards helped them out. Now Knowles going to be flanked out to the near side here on the right side, and they're going to pitch it back, and onto the turf it goes, and Blue Valley Northwest takes over. So bad pitch from George to Wilson up over his shoulder pads there, and it's a turnover. And that's kind of been a problem for the Cats, not the turnovers just as much as shooting themselves in the foot with mistakes on drives that they get started. And there's another one right there. And here comes Blue Valley Northwest back out on that spread offense. 2 to the left, 2 to the right. Slifer in the backfield with Thomas. And this time he's going to pass over the middle. Wide open receiver past the 40 to 35. Down to the 30. Wrapped up and taken down by Carson Crowley there. That was Jake Dolsch with the catch. So a big chunky yardage down to the 30-yard line. 2 to the left, 2 to the right. Blue Valley Northwest shotgun formation. They're going to throw it out in the flats this time. And a good chunk of yardage inside the 20 down to the 15. And again, a tackle by Carson Crowley, your safety. You don't want to be calling his name a lot. That means that they're getting into that secondary. And a couple of big chunks of yardage, and just like that, they're knocking on the Cats' door down to the Cats' 15. 2 wide receivers to the left, 2 to the right. Slifer. He's got a man in motion from left to right is Dolsch. And this time he's going to hand it off to Thomas. No, he keeps it up the middle himself. And Slifer lowers the boom down to the 5 to the 3-yard line. Gary made a comment earlier. He must have heard you in his headset. As Gary said, didn't look like he was comfortable running, and that time he went right up the middle and ran right over the Wildcat defender, and it's 1st and goal for Blue Valley Northwest here with 8:10 to go in the first quarter. Back off the left end here. This time they're going to hand off for Thomas. Thomas tries to get to the outside and does. Walks into the end zone for 6. And it's Blue Valley North 6, Wildcats 3 with 7:59 to go here in the first quarter. And that spread offense, second time around, just sliced and diced the Wildcat defense. And it is now a 6-0 Blue Valley Northwest lead. We'll wait the extra point coming up. Kicker is Austin Harpin, and he's going to have to fall on a bad snap, and it'll remain 6-0. So 6-0 our score. 8 minutes to go in the first quarter. Cats down. We'll be right back.
It's never too early to teach your little ones about finances and saving money. Sherwood Community Bank has plenty of options available for you to help kids save and learn how to manage money. Savings accounts can be started as soon as one is born to help teach them to save. Once they are behind the wheel, a checking account with free internet banking and a debit card could be there for them to manage their money. Sherwood Community Bank is there for the youngsters. Just ask Braxton.
Go see them at Sherwood Bank. That's where my account is.
Tonight's kick return contestant, Renee Mayer of Harrisonville. If the Cats return a kick for a touchdown, she will win a $70 Sonic gift card. If they do not, she will get a $10 Sonic gift card for being the contestant on the Sonic kick return contest. So $70 pot on that one. Hopefully we can get her a kick return, maybe get this Wildcat team fired up a little bit. Had a good drive going, and then they turned it over, and Blue Valley Northwest did what a team should do. They pounced on the turnover, and 4 quick plays were in the end zone for a touchdown.
45 seconds, 4 plays, and 54 yards. I mean, that was just
textbook spread offense right there.
Yes.
High end over end kick going to be taken by the Cats. That'll be Percival at the 15 to the 20 to the outside and wrapped up and chucked down by a host of Blue Valley Northwest Huskies. And it'll be 1st and 10 for the Cats from their own 24-yard line. You know, something, Gary, I believe if I think back these first 2+ now start of the third game, that's only the second pitch I've seen out of the Wildcats, I think, that I can remember. We may have had a couple of more in there, but the first game, the first pitch we had was on the turf in return for a touchdown. So that is something, obviously, with the split back view, that the timing is off right now. George is under center, split backs in the backfield. This time up the middle they're going to go, and a good 4 or 5 yard gain. They're going to give him Jace Reynolds, the freshman, again on the carry, and up to the 30-yard line. So wide receiver to the left, wide receiver to the right. Knowles out to your left side. Right side will be Atkinson. Under center going to be George. He's going to have Percival off the left end and split backs in the backfield. Here we go on 2nd down at about 5. Right up the middle they go Jaden Wilson. He hits 2 or 3 yards, and that's all. Bring up a 3rd down. Jaden's helmet came off, so he's going to have to come out. And Carson Crowley will come into the game, but a 3rd and 2 coming up for the Wildcats. And he just ran right into a wall of Huskies right there. I don't know if he missed right there that cut between the 2 tackles on the defensive side of the ball. Brings up a 3rd and 2. Wide receiver left, wide receiver right, split backs in the backfield. George under center on 3rd down. And here they go, Cats to pass. A little floater, and that way floats over everybody, and it'll be 4th down, and the Cats are going to have to punt. So not exactly the 3 and out you wanted after the 45-second drive by Blue Valley Northwest to give their potent offense back the ball. But the Cats are going to have to go with the punt here. Knowles stands at about his own 20-yard line. Floating snap taken, and a good punt got off by Colby Knowles. That's going to roll inside the 20. Inside the 10, it rolls all the way down to the 4-yard line, where it's going to stop. Jace Reynolds standing down there talking to it as it goes all the way down to the 4-yard line, but there is a flag back at the point of contact, and that's going to be a hold on the Wildcats. And it's just been that kind of start to the season for the Wildcats. When it rains, it pours. Pardon the puns tonight with all the rain in the skies. Nevertheless, that will be a flag on the Wildcats, and that'll push them back 10 yards from the they were at the 31, and it was in the backfield, and it'll be a spot foul. So you ruined about a 60-yard punt right there by Colby Knowles. Now he's going to have to punt it from about his own 5-yard line. 6:37 to go here, first quarter. Cats down 6-0. Blue Valley Northwest about to get the ball back, and this is kind of the danger zone territory for the Wildcats. It has been the first 2 weeks. Not getting that stop after the first score from their opponents. Now another high end over end kick. This one will be taken at about the 40. It's muffed, and falling on it is the returner, as Percival was down there to cover it quickly at the 38-yard line. So that cost the Cats 35-plus yards. Still a decent punt by Knowles to pin them inside their own 40. So 6:29 to go here, first quarter. 6-0 our score. Live from Blue Valley District Activities Complex, just south of Blue Valley Northwest High School, right across the street from the Shields Soccer Complex. 2 wide receivers, left, 2 to your right. Slifer in the backfield has Thomas with him. He's going to go in motion, hand it off to Thomas. Thomas finds a hole in the middle, and right up the middle he goes for about 5-6 yards. Brody Pitts as well as Trevor Campbell in on the tackle. Brings up a 2nd down and about 3. Tell you, those inside handoffs really are opening up the passing game for Blue Valley Northwest. 2 wide receivers to your left, 2 to your right. Looking to pass, they pass it out in the flats, wide open out here. A lot of that zone type coverage on the near side. They're giving the wide receivers 10, 12 yards off the ball, and the quarterback Slifer is taking advantage of it. That was a wide open on the near side for Blue Valley Northwest. It was Tanner Sample on the catch. 2 wide receivers your left, 2 your right. Now in the Wildcat territory, down to the Wildcat 40. And up the middle they go with Thomas. And Thomas gets about 3 or 4 and is popped down. Isaiah Patrick in on the be calling his name out there. Brings up a 2nd down and 5. So 5:35 to go here in the first quarter. And Slyford in the shotgun with Thomas next to him. He looks to pass, and he's going to run it up the middle instead. Gets inside the 30 for another Blue Valley Northwest first down. Finally wrapped up. It was a designed run there. Kind of tried to look like he was going to throw the ball. 1st and 10 down to the 28-yard line. 2 wide receivers to the left, 2 to the right. They're going to split it out now. 3 wide receivers out to your right side with a trip formation. 1 wide receiver to the left. And the snap is low, and in comes Campbell can't make the tackle, but the ball popped out, goes right to Carson Crowley. Not sure who knocked the ball out. But the Cats get a turnover they desperately needed, and let's see if that can spark this Wildcat team. You know, they started that first drive so good, get a couple of good handoffs, and then they had the fumble, and since then they just kind of look stagnant offensively. Got to get them a good drive going, get them a good 7-8 play drive, some good handoffs, some good running room. Get something going if you're the Wildcats. 4:59 to go here, first quarter. Wide receiver left, wide receiver right, split backs in the backfield. Percival off the end on your right side. Here goes George on first down. He's going to hand it off for Reynolds. And Reynolds got some running room, but then was quickly taken down. He got into that second line of defense. Matt Latendesi brings up a 2nd down and about 6 for the Cats. So 4-yard gain for Jace Reynolds, the freshman. It's him and Jaden Wilson out there. Wide receiver to the left, wide receiver to the right. Under center is George on 2nd down. We go on 2nd down. George looking to throw, and he's going to throw it over the middle. Picked off right into the hands of the defender. To the near side, he comes to the 40, to the 30, and out of bounds. He goes down at about the 25-yard line. And I'll ask you, Gary, raising a quarterback son, do you obviously have multiple reads on those. The one thing I can notice that Landon's leaning towards early in the year, he goes after Colby Knowles every single time, and he's got a good wide receiver on the other side in Kennedy Atkinson, and he's not seeing much action, and I think defenses are starting to see that.
Yeah, but he also seemed to I don't think he ever looked off of him that time, and it was a short throw. If he'd have thrown a little bit farther, I think it would have been better anyway.
So they're going to start with that trips over to the right side, and Slifer didn't like what he sees, so he's going to call a timeout. We got another timeout on the field. Does your vehicle need a timeout? Go to Young's Auto Repair and have them check it out right behind the garage on Commercial. We'll be right back after this.
When you want all the latest news about the Wildcats, turn to the South Cass Tribune. A large sports section, honor rolls, robotics, and even news and notes from all 6 Harrisonville campuses. They are sure to have you covered. They are happy to say the Wildcats are their hometown team. Find the Tribune around town at various establishments or get a subscription delivered right to your mailbox. Keep up with everything each week in the South Cass Tribune, Harrisonville's home news source.
Hello and welcome back to Blue Valley Northwest. We are 4 minutes left in the first quarter. Cats down 6-0, 2 turnovers already, and that's been kind of how teams have gotten going against the Wildcats the first couple of weeks, a couple of turnovers and boom, just like that, Blue Valley Northwest is knocking on the door again, already up 6-0.
Well, and each time we seem like having something going, and then we make a mistake. I mean, that punt that would have started them out on the 4-yard line, again, a penalty. So hopefully we can overcome that and move better in the future.
So 3 wide receiver set, and now the Cats jump off sides. That'll push them back 5 more, put them 5 yards closer to the end zone. Down to the 16-yard line. It'll be 1st and 5 now for Blue Valley Northwest. Now Harrisonville going to call a timeout. We'll take one as well. Cats down 6-0. We'll be right back.
A strong starting lineup is a key to a great team. Insurance is no different, and Stafford & Stafford Insurance has the best lineup in town. With personal, commercial, health, life, farm, and crop insurance, they have you covered. 40-plus employees are there for you to find the best rates, walk you through claims, and make sure they are there for every step of the way. So if you're looking for a full-service insurance company with a strong starting lineup, go see the folks over at Stafford & Stafford Insurance on Commercial Street across from Holland Auto Sales.
All right, 4:08 to go here. First quarter of this one. Blue Valley Activities Complex just south of Blue Valley Northwest High School off 135th and Schweitzer. We are underway here. Cats down 6-0 and a 1st and 5 from the 16 coming up for Blue Valley Northwest. Timeout called by Harrisonville there. I think just to try to calm the kids down and say, guys, come on, let's snap out of it here. Let's get a stop, hold them to a field goal attempt, and go back to work. 6-0 our score, 4:08 to go here in the first quarter. 3 wide receivers to your right, 1 to your left. Snap is low, but handed off to Thomas. And Thomas breaks tackles inside the 5 to about the 3-yard line. And it's going to bring up a 1st and goal for Blue Valley Northwest. Scoreboard just went out. Oh, there we go. Pop back on. 3:53 to go here in the first. Little low snap. Slifer going to take it inside the 1. Going to mark him down. Nope. They're going to say it's a touchdown Blue Valley Northwest, and it's 12-0 Blue Valley Northwest with 3:43 to go here in the first quarter. So 3:43 to go here, first quarter. Cats down 12-0 to Blue Valley Northwest. And now, you know, we talked about it the first couple of weeks, but it's gut check time for the Wildcats here. They're going to go for 2 now, Blue Valley Northwest. And the ball on the turf, Slifer looking to go and nowhere to go, and bottled up, and it is not good, and it makes it a 12-0 score still. So we'll take a timeout. We'll be back after this.
You need multiple things for a project at home but don't want to go all over the city to find it? You need to go see Tom and Lonnie Cook at the 38,000 square foot trade fair. Over 200 booths with Amish-made jelly, new and used furniture, antiques, toys, and a little bit of everything you can think of. Harrisonville's Trade Fair Mall can be your one-stop for everything. Whether it's your first time to Harrisonville or you've been here for years, the Trade Fair is definitely a see-it-to-believe-it type of place right across the street from Sutherland's.
Welcome back. 3:43 to go here in the first quarter, and the Cats find themselves in a familiar hole early in the season, down 12-0 here in this one. And, you know, the first couple of weeks we talked about Baby Buzzsaw, good team just dismantling them early on. I'm going to say a little bit of this lies within the Wildcats right now, as the Wildcats are just stagnant and flat, and they need to snap out of it here as the mistakes are plentiful. And there's the kick return by Colby Knowles up past the 30 to about the 33-yard line. Remember, Renee Mayer, our kick return contestant, Sonic kick return contestant, If the Cats return a kick for a touchdown in this ball game, she will win a $70 Sonic gift card. If not, she will win a $10 gift card for being tonight's contestant. We're looking for some more folks to sign up for that giveaway. Remember to go to 4Ts.com and sign up.
You know, I think really they just got to be consistent. They're making mistakes at the wrong time. I mean, that happens. But those mistakes have been really killers in all 3 games. So they've got to be a little. I mean, you see sparks of things happening, and then they have mistakes. And we've got a different backfield, different lineup here.
We're going to go pistol formation now. Isaiah Patrick behind Landon George, and the snap bounces to George, and he's just got a fall on it. Bring up a 2nd down and 13. So they're going to go a little bit spread here. 3 wide receivers set to your left side. Near side Kennedy Atkinson. Pistol formation. Landon George has Isaiah Patrick behind him in the backfield. And this time they're going to take it, pitch it back to Patrick, and he's going to cut back. Gets about 5 or 6 of it back up to about the 37-yard line. And it'll bring up a 3rd down as Patrick is going to come back out of the ball game. And, you know, here's the situation, too, with Isaiah. You just want to get him more acclimated back into the ball game, get him to 100% fully. Wide receiver left, wide receiver to the right, back off the end, back to that split back veer on 3rd down and about 6. And this time they're going to hand it off for Reynolds. And Reynolds barrels his way forward. Going to be close to a 1st down. Looks like he's going to get initial spot, and they give him the 1st down on that 7-yard run. So Jace Reynolds, the freshman, picking up yardage again. Brings up a 1st and 10 up to about the 43-yard line.
He's already got 4 carries for 32 yards, so they're utilizing the freshman.
And that is a Troby's Maytag Home Appliance Center 1st down. Think Troby's first when you think home appliances. Percival off the right end. Wide receiver left, wide receiver right. Under center is George. Wilson and Reynolds in the backfield. This time again they hand it off to Jace, and Jace bursts through up to midfield, and it'll bring up a 2nd down. About a 7-yard gain, and the freshman giving the Cats a little bit of life here. His 5th carry already at close to 40 yards and runs just like his brother. Short, compact, and boom, they hit the hole with speed.
Watched a lot of his brother, I'm sure.
So Knowles to the left, Atkinson to the right, Percival off the right end, split backs in the backfield. George looking over to the sideline for his signal. Gets under center, a minute and a half to go here in the 1st. And this time they're going to go Wilson, and Wilson breaks a couple of tackles into the secondary, almost breaks free, tripped up to the 40-yard line of Blue Valley Northwest. And again, the Cats move the chains for another Troby's Maytag Home Appliance Center 1st down. 1:21 to go here in the 1st quarter. Think Troby's first when you think home appliances.
Now, we just need to be consistent and keep the drive going. Let's not make a mistake.
Wide receiver left, wide receiver right. Under center again is George. Ball down at the 40 of Blue Valley Northwest. This time they hand it up the middle. Carson Crowley with the run this time. He gets down to about the 36-yard line. 4-yard gain. Brings up 2nd down and 6. Mixing those backs up in the backfield, and a 2nd down and 6 coming up. And this is what, you know, Coach Meeks talked about after the week 1 we talked about. He said just being consistent. Gary was touching on it here. This is where you got to get a consistent drive and get that confidence going.
And as we speak of that, we move. Now, it looked like they maybe tried to draw us, but we moved, so it's going to be 5 yards on us.
So a shift on the line, the defensive line there causes the false start on the Wildcats, and that'll push them back to the 41. And, you know, it's been on cue this year, Gary. We talk about getting a consistent drive. Now let's capitalize here and keep the drive going and not let this fizzle this drive out. That was just a 2nd down mistake. So here we go on a 2nd and 11, and this time George keeps it himself, nowhere to go, wrapped up at the line of scrimmage. And Quincy Tillett with the tackle.
I think what happened there, Landon has had a little bit of issue with the pitch, and I think he was hesitant about pitching, and you can't hesitate. I mean, you got to do it. And I think he was a little bit hesitant and got wrapped up before he got a chance.
So, and this is where the Cats that'll end the first quarter of play. So 1 quarter in the books, Cats down 12-0. We'll take a timeout.
What is your time worth? Think about it the next time you head to the city to spend hours and days shopping for home appliances and to save a few dollars. Instead, drive across town and see Erlene and her staff that's right here for your convenience. You can be in or out in a short amount of time with amazing service, a great product, and they always treat you like family. Located behind Hawthorne Bank on Plaza Drive, so spend all your extra time you saved cheering on the Wildcats. And remember, think Trobies first when you think of home appliances.
All right, welcome back, Wildcats. Down 12-0 after 1 quarter of play. And I just looked out at the game clock. Game clock was rolling already to start the second quarter.
But, this is the most consistent drive they've had. They've already ran 7 plays. They've had it for 3 minutes and 45 seconds, and they started on their 33. So they've went 27 yards. So hopefully they can get some yardage here to take it a shorter 4th down.
Well, we talked about it, but this is another situation now. You're in 3rd and long. Everybody knows what you're going to do here. You've got to try to change it up, maybe go on a counter to Jace Reynolds. We'll see what they do on 3rd and long here. And this time they're just going to hand it off to Reynolds, and Reynolds gets back to the original line. It'll bring up 4th down, 4th and 10 from the 40. Looks like the punting unit is going to come out on the field. So Cat's going to try to pin Blue Valley Northwest deep here. Look for a little rugby-style punt maybe. 11:29 to go here. 4th down coming up. Knowles gets it away, barely, almost blocked inside the 20 and rolls sideways and going to roll dead at about the 15-yard line. Percival knocks it dead. 1st and 10 Blue Valley Northwest from their own 15-yard line. Now Blue Valley Northwest in the second quarter going from left to right or from north to south. They're having all kinds of issue with the clock as it's now still showing 12 minutes up there. So it started early, now it's showing 12 minutes. They're going to have to decide what they do here. So 12-0 our score, early second quarter. Wildcats down 12-0 to Blue Valley Northwest. And, inconsistency, that's been the name of the game for the Wildcats early season, and it has reared its ugly head again here early in this one.
But that's what you get with the younger players, those that have not had a lot of experience. And so you can imagine as the year goes on how more consistent they will get. They've not spent a lot of time on the field prior to this year. And so it's just gonna come with some lumps.
And being honest, they haven't spent a lot of time on the field yet this year. There are a lot of 3-and-outs, a lot of fumbles, a lot of mistakes offensively, and they're going to have to fix that shotgun formation again. Thomas back there with Slifer. 2 wide receivers left, 2 to your right. See if the Cats go with a little bit more press coverage here on these wide receivers. Still giving them about 7 yards off. And now there's a blitz by the Cats. Slifer going to have to get rid of it. Nowhere to go, and almost sacked into the end zone pretty close.
He almost ran into the end zone, I thought, but they're going to give him benefit of the doubt because contact was outside the end zone.
Isaiah Patrick back there along with a couple others, Brody Pitts and Tart Water back there. And it brings up a second, and Gary touched on it a little bit ago. Second and almost Leavenworth for Blue Valley Northwest. 3 wide receivers set, 2 your left, 1 to your right. Leavenworth, home of the federal penitentiary, and my sister-in-law and her family. And there's a timeout on the field. We will take a timeout as well. Does your vehicle need a timeout? Go see Young's Auto Repair and have them check it out right behind the garage on Commercial. We'll be right back.
When it comes to fast service at a reasonable price, Young's Auto is your place. Whether it's a standard oil change, brake check, or something a little more major, Michelle and William with Young's Auto Repair will make sure you get back on the road quickly with a little change left in your pockets. So if you don't want to break the bank when your vehicle needs service, come to the shop that keeps you rolling down the highway. Young's Auto, right across the street from Young's Tire on South Commercial.
All right, welcome back. It's going to be second and long for Blue Valley Northwest when we get back to action here. They're on the near side talking it over. Cats on the far side talking it over. Blue Valley Northwest in their purple tops with the white sleeve, white numbers, white pants, and the white helmet with the Husky on the side. Cats in their away white tops, white bottoms, blue trim down the legs, blue and white, I should say, with the blue numbers. I believe they're actually black numbers with the blue outline. They're going to go with a 3 wide receiver set to your left side, 1 to your right. In the end zone is Slifer. He takes the snap, looks to throw, and almost picked off. Isaiah Patrick read it all the way, and he was thinking 6 before he could pull that one down. And it brings up third down and long for Blue Valley Northwest.
Well, he was walking in the end zone before he had the ball is what he was.
And then, you know, they're looking to make a big play out there defensively, and that would have fired this team up. And good for him. You can tell already making a difference here, leaning in like he wants to blitz from that middle linebacker spot. He's going to hold. And now a deep pass for a first down all the way up to the 30-yard line. Dolch knocks it down to the 30, 28-yard gain. No secondary help there, and it's out of their own end zone all the way up to the 30-yard line. 2 wide receivers to your left, 2 to your right. Slifer in the shotgun for no, going to pull up to the pistol. Has Thomas behind him this time. Going to fake the handoff to Thomas. Slifer going to get it to the outside, cuts back at the 30, up to at the 35. Juked out Brody Pitts, and then finally wrapped up by a couple of Wildcats, including Tarwater. Bring up a second down and about 5. 10-19 to go first half. So Dolch out here to the near side. No, that's not Dolch out to the near side. That is Ronaldo. And this time they're going to hand off. Leifert keeps it himself. Fake the handoff to Thomas. Gets close to a first down. Going to be about a yard short. Going to bring up third and a yard. So doing a good job of running the ball out of this one. 2 wide receivers to your left, 2 to your right. Pistol formation for Slifer as Thomas behind him in the backfield on a 3rd and short. But being able to run the ball has opened up the passing game for Blue Valley Northwest, and this time they hand to Thomas, who's got the first, up to the 45-yard line. Brings up a 1st and 10. So first down and 10, ball up to the 44, 9:28 to go, first half of this one. 3 wide receivers to your left, 1 to your right. Shotgun formation, and they're going to throw it over the middle, and that ball might have been tipped at the line of scrimmage, and it falls incomplete. Going to bring up a 2nd down and 10. The benefit right now for the Cats on this spread offense is it's not taking a lot of time off the clock, so the Cats aren't in dire need of having to go to the passing game or anything yet, because we still got 9+ minutes before we get to halftime. 3 wide receivers to your left side, 1 to your right. Shotgun formation, Slifer with Thomas in the backfield on his left side. Stands at about his own 40, fakes the handoff and goes right up the middle with it. Cats read it all the way, tackled in the backfield and brought down. Colin Carruthers on the tackle. I was looking, I was like 40, I don't have 40 down there, but Colin Carruthers, the sophomore, and again, we talk about youngsters. There's another one in there. 3 wide receivers set to your left, 1 to your right. And here we go on a 3rd and long, and again, over the middle.
Hit.
But a good hit over the middle by the Wildcats to break that one up, as Carson Crowley comes up and knocks the ball away, and Blue Valley Northwest going to have to punt But they went to that well again, and it was almost there. Good play by Crowley to close and knock the ball away. So 8:39 to go after the incomplete pass. Knowles and Reynolds back at about their own 10-yard line to return this one. Remember, Sonic kick return contestant Renee Mayer. And here goes the high end-over-end kick. Knowles going to let it bounce at the 15 and roll backwards and be downed at the 20-yard line. 8:29 to go here in the first half. Cats down 12-0. Looking to get that offense going. They've shown more flashes here tonight offensively, Gary. They just kind of sputter out after getting 5-6 plays in a row. That consistency just not there yet.
You know, that last series they had some good plays. It ended up being an 8-play drive before it stalled. So
8:29 to go here in the first half, and they're going to go with that spread look themselves this time. It looks like Wilson going to be behind George. George looking to pass. He's going to roll out. He's going to chuck it. Has his man up to the 45. Jace Reynolds, the freshman. Gain second down and 7 coming up. Wide receiver Atkinson out to your right side. Knowles to the near side, left side. Under center is George. Reynolds and Wilson in the backfield. And they're going to go on a counter to Percival.
I love this counter.
And to the 50, inside the 50 to the 47. They're going to at about the 48-yard line. Going to bring up a third down and a pair here for the Cats. Percival was flanked off that right end, as he has been all night long. Just kind of hides over there. And that's a good time for a counter. Got him about, I guess they're going to mark it 4. So it'll be third down and 3 for the Cats. Wide receiver to your left, wide receiver to your right. Under center is George. Third down and 3 coming up, and George looking to pass. Throws it in the flats for Reynolds. Reynolds gets to the outside. He's got a first and slides past the first down marker down to about the 43-yard line. The freshman with the little screen pass out of the backfield. And you know, been a little hard on Landon tonight with a couple of his throws. That's a very tough throw for a quarterback to make, especially at the high school level. That little running floater, you got to time it out into the flats like that.
Yeah, and that was a great block by Atkinson out there too, which helped him get outside.
So here we go up the middle this time. And still on his feet, past the 40 down to the 35. I believe that was Jaden Wilson with a good burst of running room and a 9-yard gain by Jaden. And Jaden showing a little bit of force right there and just lowering his shoulder and going after people. Second down and a yard. Ball down to the 35 of Blue Valley Northwest. All right, George under center. Steps back with about 12 seconds on the play clock. Goes back under now. And here we go, right up the middle again to Wilson. And Wilson breaks more tackles and fires himself down to about the 25-yard line.
2 9-yard runs and a back-to-back. And that's what we're talking about, that passion. He's got some passion. He's mad. He wants to do something.
And they're starting to harness it. They're starting to, you know, maybe they got a lot of little fire lit under him over on the sideline, but he's running with more aggressiveness and authority than just kind of jogging up to his spot where there's supposed to be a hole. Wide receiver to your left, wide receiver right. Split backs in the backfield. Percival off the left end. And here they go on the pass. They're going to chuck it down the sideline, floats it up, caught at the 5 and into the end zone. Touchdown Wildcats. Kennedy Atkinson went back and got it. Talk about putting some air under the ball. Landon George put almost a little bit too much. Kennedy looked like a center fielder there coming back to get that one. And it'll be a touchdown, and the Cats trail 12-6 on the Atkinson touchdown reception.
80-yard drive, 5 plays. They had some big plays there. You got to be happy with that.
There wasn't more than 5 plays?
Unless I didn't mark a play, yeah. I mean, they had some big bursts of plays. They had the 2 9s back-to-back.
So here comes the extra point, no good, as Johnson couldn't get it through, and it remains 12-6 with 5:13 to go. That touchdown brought to you by Young's Tire and Wheel Center. The touch of your tires to the pavement shouldn't let you down. Go see Young's Tire and Wheel Center to check out your tires. We'll be right back.
Decisions on the football field must be made in a split second. When buying a home, it is quite the opposite. Let Carol Looney and her staff at American Heritage walk you through the process with ease. They will make sure buying your dream home doesn't become a nightmare. From the first showing until the keys are in your hand, go with the realtors that have called Harrisonville home since 1981. American Heritage Realtors, office located next to Sonic on Commercial, or go see them at americanheritage-realtors.com.
No matter how many things you've had on the menu at Applebee's, everyone has their favorite. Whether it's an appetizer sampler, chicken fajita roll-up, or 3-cheese chicken penne with a side of buffalo sauce, you always go back to your favorite. At some point over the years, every Wildcat has had a meal at Applebee's. The next time you head to Applebee's in your Wildcat gear, mention the Wildcat Special and receive a 10% discount. Applebee's of Harrisonville on Rockhaven Road, Caddy Corner to Quick Trip.
Brody Pitts set to kick it away for the Wildcats with 5:13 to go here in the first half. Cats on the board. The George to Atkinson touchdown catch, and the Cats get off the schneid, so to speak, as looks like the wind may have blown it off the tee, so they may make them hold. No, they're not going to make them hold yet. Kick off your mornings at Harrisonville's only drive-through coffee shop, Brew Daddy's, next to Commerce Bank on Commercial. Into the teeth of that wind comes the kick. High end over end kick taken up about the 20-yard line for Blue Valley Northwest up to the 30. Looks like this one will come backwards. Flag comes flying in.
Okay, so the first play was 25. The next play was like a 5-yard swing pass. Then the next one was a 9-9, and then next two was 9-9, and then the last one was a 26-yard touchdown. So I think 2, 3, it may have been 6 plays. I'm sorry, Chad. I may have missed one in there.
I'm just giving Gary a hard time. 5:07 to go here. First half, Cats down by 6. For great insurance coverage, go see Brad Sainer with Farmers Insurance. The insurance covered just like that kick coverage for the Wildcats. They're in the A-frame on Commercial across from Casey's. Farmers, been there, covered that. 5:07 to go here, first half, and now the Cats need a stop and get the ball back here. Start thinking about getting a touchdown before the half and getting the ball back at half. 3 wide receivers. Now they're going to go out to the near side. Almost picked again as Cats starting to get more comfortable with that spread offense here.
Yes, they are, and I'm thinking we're going to see a pick here in just a little bit.
And you know what? Isaiah's been close a couple of times here in the last couple of drives. 3 wide receivers your left, 1 to your right. Shotgun formation. Thomas with Slifer in the backfield. Looks over for the play, and here comes a 2nd down and 10. And now Thomas, nope, Slifer keeps it himself up to the 25-yard line. Going to go to the 27. Going to get about 5. Bring up a 3rd down and 5 with 4:52 to go here in the half. 3rd down and long and 3rd down and medium. This is where that play over the middle has come into play and bite the Wildcats. You got to think the Cats may be thinking that's what's coming this time. They split it out 2 to the left, 2 to the right this time. Shotgun formation with Thomas with 4:32 to go here in the half. Slifer in the shotgun, and he has it. Fakes to Thomas, goes over in the flat. Incomplete. Intended for the target side, and good sportsmanship. Isaiah Patrick tried to help Dolce up off the ground. Dolce slapped his hand away, I mean, and you, of course, don't know what's going on out there. I mean, there could have been words earlier on. But, nevertheless, good sportsmanship shown by Isaiah right there. And Dolch wanted none of it. And the Cats going to get the ball back with 4:21, see if they can keep this momentum rolling here.
Well, just like what you called. And there's an excellent.
Terrible punt off of the feet of the Blue Valley Northwest kicker. And here comes that dreaded walk back by the ball judge on the near side here, the line judge. He's going to walk it all the way back, and he keeps walking, and he stops at the 36-yard line. So that will be a 9-yard punt for Blue Valley Northwest, and the Cats have excellent field position at the 36-yard line of Blue Valley Northwest and a chance to tie this ball game up with 4:15 to go in the first half.
Well, and I said excellent. I was referring to excellent position for us. You were saying terrible because it was a bad punt. It was off the side of his foot. So hopefully we can take advantage of this, take some time off the clock, get a touchdown, and then maybe come back in the second half and be able to go from there.
They're going to start this drive in that pistol formation. No shotgun. They're going to go empty backfield here. 3 wide receivers to your right, 2 to your left. George all alone back there. He's got it. He's looking to pass, and he's going to chuck it deep, way deep, up for grabs, and in is intercepted. Intended for Jace Reynolds, and Jason knocks it down at the 3-yard line on the tackle. And again, that's not looking off your intended target right there, just throwing to your primary. You got to be able to go through your progressions a little bit there. 4:07 to go in the half. I like the thought process there. Go deep early, try to jump out and ride that momentum. 3rd turnover of the night instead for the Wildcats with 4:07 to go in the half. And Blue Valley Northwest going to go again. 2 wide receivers, 3 wide receivers out to the left side. And if they throw one of those little flat passes again, watch out. As they're going to go for Thomas, and there's a hold, and that one's coming back. Be a half a distance penalty, so not a whole lot there for a penalty-wise, but it negates the big run.
Negates the big run and also gives an opportunity for the defense to get some penetration here and maybe, all of the snaps that have been going back to Slipert have been low. I mean, there's not been any that have been perfect. I mean, anything can happen here. They're 1.5 yards out from the end zone. Bad snap, goes back to pass, gets sacked. I mean, a lot of things can happen, and especially when you get your backs to the wall, as the Blue Valley does right now.
Paul Saffel sitting at home watching the game tonight
Paul.
On his 55-inch TV set. So glad to have Paul watching along. The little throw out to the near side dropped, and the Cats try to drop on it, but it was just an incomplete pass, and it'll bring up a 2nd down.
Now I haven't figured out. They had first down again on the thing, and they're still at the 3-yard line. That's where they started out.
Well, it was a spot foul, so it only goes back. So,
okay.
So now we're going to 2nd and 10 from about their own 3-yard line. 2 wide receivers left, 2 to the right. Shotgun formation in the backfield. Thomas on the left side of Slipert in the backfield on 2nd and 10. Got to watch that play over the middle. That has been a killer for the Cats here in this one. And instead it's a little cross pattern and broken tackles up past the 20-yard line. Goes Blue Valley Northwest. Tanner Sample with the catch. And it moves the chains up to the 20. So the Cats were in a little bit of situation where they would try to stop the clock. Instead, the ball is moved out to the 20-yard line. 2 wide receivers left to the right in that shotgun spread offense. And here this time, Slipert going to keep it himself and looks to direct traffic and goes through the traffic up to about the 25. Looked like Brody Pitts and a couple others in on that one, including Colin Carruthers. So the sophomore getting some playing time out there. Looks like he's starting tonight. Called his names a couple of times already, has Colin. So 2 wide receivers your left, 2 to your right. Shotgun formation. And here we go. Slipert passes it out in the flat for Dolch, and Dolch hammered on the near side by Isaiah Patrick after a gain of a couple. I wonder if there was anything to do with the fact that he would not take Mr. Isaiah Patrick's hand when Isaiah was trying to help him up. And that time Isaiah said, "Hi, nice to meet you." So 3rd down and about 3, coming up 2:45 to go here in the half. 2 wide receivers to your left, 2 to your right. Shotgun formation. Seifert and Thomas in the backfield, and here they go over the middle, overthrow their target on 4th down. Coming up, clock stops with 2.5 to go, and Blue Valley Northwest is going to have to punt it here. So initial 1st down, but the Cats defense again tightens, and the throw's getting a little errant on Slifert's part here in the 2nd quarter. He was kind of nails in that 1st quarter. 2nd quarter, he has gotten a little erratic with the throws. And remember, it's the Sonic Kick Return Contest. Renee Mayer, Week 3 contestant. If the Cats return a kick for a touchdown, she will win a $70 Sonic gift card. And a high end-over-end kick drills inside the 20, inside the 10, and into the end zone. A 73-yard punt, but the dreaded nets 53 as it went into the end zone. It took a spin. So 2:19 to go. Live in Overland Park, Kansas, just off the state line. Across the state line, I should say, from Harrisonville and a little bit north up in Kansas City. 2:19 to go. Here in the 1st half, Cats down 12-6 in this one. Looking to get some offense going as they go back to that split back veer formation. 2 wide receivers set to your left side, 1 to your right. Under center is George. And here they go right up the middle. And another good run. Spinning out of tackles is Jaden Wilson. And I'll tell you what, this is a different Jaden Wilson this last couple of drives, Gary, than I saw the first 2 games of the year running the football.
Oh, yeah. I mean, they all seem to be running with purpose. I mean, especially the last. What happened?
Well, something went tumbling. Right, the Cats go right up the middle again, getting nowhere, maybe back to the line of scrimmage, and it'll bring up a 3rd down. They handed that one off to Jace Reynolds. Going to be 3rd down and long as the mixer went tossing. But see, we've got a lot of different people in here watching the game.
Ethan Lecker, he's wanting to know what state this is. This is actually Missouri playing Kansas right now. We're in Kansas. The Harrisonville Wildcats from Missouri is playing the Blue Valley, and if that was you better get on. And okay. Well, I thought it was a lateral.
He was marking, and you got to watch that official on the near side. He was showing incomplete the whole time. And just like that, the Cats go 3 and out, and are going to have to punt it away here on 4th down. So 4th down coming up, 1:18 to go. Cats trying to get to the locker room down by 6. Colby Knowles stands at about his own 10. And he's going to get the kick away. End over end, rolls out of bounds at about the 46-yard line. The thing about Blue Valley Northwest, they can score quickly with that spread offense. But again, it comes into danger zone too. If you try another one of those out patterns, or if you can jump a route, the Cats could maybe get a touchdown here on a pick 6 or something. So 1:10 to go here in the 1st half. The Cats trail 12-6, but have showed some life here in the 2nd quarter of this one after falling down 12-0 early. 2 wide receivers left, 2 to the right. Slifer in the backfield. Thomas with him in the shotgun formation. Back there playing center field, Carson Crowley. Letting it roll down inside of 5 seconds on the play clock. And now they go to the snap. They throw it out in the flats and picked up quickly and thrown to the ground out here on the near sideline. Zachary Cheney with the tackle brings up a 2nd down and about 7. Now they move in, and it'll be a pistol formation as the running back behind the quarterback. So Slifer in front of Thomas. Now a little offset pistol. And Slifer looking to pass, throws it in the flats. Incomplete. And it'll bring up a 3rd down and 7 with 39 seconds to go.
You know, this is the 8th series of the game in the first half that Blue Valley's had the ball. I mean, it's been fast. We've had fumbles and interceptions and three and outs. Don't really see that often. Looks like Blue Valley's going to take their last time out.
And Blue Valley will call a timeout as receivers were running left and right and up and down, didn't know where they were going, so they call a timeout. Does your vehicle need a timeout? Go to Young's Auto Repair and have them check it out right behind the garage on Commercial Street. We'll just keep it right here with you on in this one. So 39 seconds to go first half. Gary Cats trailed 12-0 with about 8 minutes to go in the first quarter. And, you know, I think everybody started that, oh, no, here we go again. But they've answered back. They've got 6 points. The offense is showing some life tonight. I'm seeing some runs out there in the second quarter from Jaden Wilson that I haven't seen all season long. As he looks like a different runner out there in the second quarter. And, you know, just a touchdown, just a little bit of cohesion offensively, and you see new life with the Wildcats.
Well, you've got 3 turnovers. You've got the fumble and 2 interceptions, which hurt. You take away some of those mistakes. Where could we be? So you've got to feel good where we're at right now with the 3 turnovers, and we're only down by 6.
3rd down, and Blue Valley Northwest going to throw. Overthrows his target. Not able to come up with it is Tanner Sample, and that'll be a turnover for the Wildcats. Turnover and downs by Blue Valley Northwest. Goes back to the Wildcats here. So 30-ish seconds to go here in the first half of this one as the scoreboard is out right now. We'll await the punt. Last one was a beauty, and this one goes high end over end. Everybody going to get away from it, but it does take a Blue Valley Northwest roll, dead at about the 31-yard line. So the punts have been hit or missed for Blue Valley Northwest, a couple of short ones and a 73-yard one in between that on the roll. 21 seconds to go here. I saw it momentarily. I don't think it was the twilight zone. It popped up. 21 seconds to go here in the half. Cats have decent field position here, but I believe only one timeout. Ball will be at the 31-yard line, so I guess it was a little – I thought they were closer to the 40. So 21 seconds to go in the half. Cats trail 12-6. We'll get the ball after the half, so kind of one of those things if you're the Wildcats, anything extra you can get here is just kind of playing with house money. Split back veer formation, wide receiver left, wide receiver right. Under center is George. He's going to hand it off up the middle, couple of yards for the Cats as the clock will roll. And that will probably do it. This one, we'll take a timeout, and we'll be back after this with your Kaleidoscope Digital Services halftime show.
Atkinson Funeral Home and Cremation Service has been serving families in the area since 1929. The Atkinsons take great pride in being members of the community. They will soon graduate a 4th-generation Wildcat. With this kind of commitment to
becoming a shopping destination, and a big reason why is Birdie's Boutique and Antiques at the corner of Lexington and Pearl Street. Birdie's offers a it's happened to all of us, running a few minutes late and not enough
to do is to take your car to a mechanic. No reason to be scared when you have the best mechanics around right here in Harrisonville. Colby and the crew at Colby's Car Clinic are all ASE certified mechanics with the latest equipment to keep your vehicle running smoothly year in and year out. Add new tires and being a rough country lifts and accessory dealer, Colby's Car Clinic takes the fear out of getting your car fixed. So give Colby a call at 816-380-3000 or go see them in the big blue building behind O'Reilly's. It's 6 p.m. and your family is discussing what to eat for dinner. We've all been there. Everyone wants something different. So make it simple. Go to Forged by Fire in Harrisonville for a little bit of everything. Salads for mom, and a wide variety of them at that. The steak for dad, a Boss burger for your growing boy, and chicken strips for the little one. The next time you need a variety of food with extra options to satisfy everyone in the family, make the one stop to Forged by Fire in the Price Chopper Shopping Center on Commercial.
Hello, everybody, and welcome back to Overland Park, Kansas, Blue Valley Northwest High School, Blue Valley Activities Complex. The Wildcats trail at 12-6 at the half, and it's time for your Kaleidoscope Digital Services halftime show. Kaleidoscope Digital Services on the Harrisonville Square is your one-stop for printing, computer service, Wi-Fi, and gaming. Go see Harrisonville's best computer solutions at Kaleidoscope Digital Services. Gary, slow start again for the Cats, but they came alive in the second quarter. Find themselves down 12-6 at the half.
Yes, but I tell you what, they've got some positives here. First of all, they're as far as total yards, they've got more total yards than Blue Valley does. 183 to 166, my count. And they've also controlled the clock more. They've had it for 14 minutes. As we talked, they've had some drives and then they made a mistake, whether it be a fumble, whether it be an interception, whether it be a penalty. They've had 3 penalties for 25 yards compared to 2 penalties for 20 yards with Blue Valley. So I think they've got something to work off of from that first half. It's a lot better than what it was in the first 2 games. And they were really, they scored the touchdown. After the touchdown, they had an interception and a punt in the half. But going back to the positives, I think they've got something to work on, move forward in the second half to improve on. Scoring, Blue Valley scored first, 8 minutes left in the first with a 5-yard TD run, made it score 6-0. The conversion failed. And then with also in the first, 3:43 left, had a 3-yard touchdown run, which made it 12-0 at the end of one quarter. Then with 5:13 left, Atkinson caught a 26-yard TD pass, and that made the score, with the conversion failing, that made the score 12-6, and it's where we're at right now.
Yeah, and it's just build off of what you got going, Gary. It was 12-0. There was still a majority of the first quarter left. Everybody, even on the sidelines, that creeps in your head. Here we go again. You felt like that the ball was going to start rolling the negative way down the hill. The Cats didn't allow that to happen. They've had some good drives. They're starting to put more than a 3-4 play drive together. They're starting to put 6, 7. Now we got to get those 10, 11 play drives without any penalties, without any mistakes, and put one in the end zone. They haven't been able to do that yet, but they're showing that life.
Absolutely, they are.
And 12-6, you're down at the half. You can look at it both ways. Looking at it from the blue sunglasses that we wear, you feel like it could be a 20 or 26-12 score with the Wildcats leading. They just 3 turnovers. That's huge. They got points off of those first ones right away. Or you can also look at it from a perspective of, it could be the other way as well, as they've missed some opportunities on
the negative right now. But receiving, Colby Knowles has 1 catch for 32 yards. Reynolds has 2 catches for 53
on the market, and Harrisonville's best tire warranty with free flat repair for life of the tire. So stay safe with new tires from Young's Tire and Wheel Center at the I-49 and 2.
Because there's so many people on the tower that's ready to help out with the community. And Future is one of the community programs that Harrison's kind of through the school as well. Jill Filer and Jennifer Beavers do a great job, several others as well, as they make sure that kids in need get clothes that they need, or whether it be essentials they need for showers and and deodorant, bright futures, and all they do in the community.
They are sure to have you covered. They are happy to say the Wildcats are their hometown team. Find the Tribune around town at various establishments.
High end over end kick, going to bounce at about the 25, picked up at the 20, and nowhere for Percival to go. He is tripped up, kind of clipped back there as a defender was running right by, and the Cats will take over from their own 20, down 12-6. We'll try to keep you updated on the time left in the quarter, but I believe it's going to be kept on the field from here on out or until we know any different, as they're having issues with the scoreboard here from Blue Valley Northwest.
Well, there goes my stats as far as time and stuff.
Time of possession, I guess you could put it on your clock and just try to go along with the officials. Just put 12 minutes on there and start and stop when they tell you to, and you'll be all right, Gary. As if he's not doing enough already. Wide receiver flanked out to the near side, right side, split backs in the backfield. Here they go, handoff for Jaden Wilson, and another powerful run by him. Going to get a good 7-yard gain, and it'll bring up a second down and short for the Wildcats. And I'm telling you, I'm probably just keep pounding on this, but Jaden Wilson looks like a different runner here in the second and third quarter of this ball game. Wide receiver now out to the left side, split back off the end, in tight here on the near side. Wilson and Reynolds in the backfield. Second down, and this time they're going to hand off to Reynolds. He cuts back, gets close to a first down, and then spins his way to a first down. A gain of 4, and the freshman run. It moves the chains to the 30-yard line. Cats trail 12-6. Initial first down of this second half. So looking as the Cats are adjusting on the line here. Wide receiver to the near.
Kept that one because Colby was out in front of it.
The only thing different I'd like to see from Landon, a little more zip on those passes. Puts a little bit too much air under it, and what's happening is the defender, everybody's able to catch up with it, and instead that's what you're running into is these balls getting tipped away. If you put a little more zip on it, he runs right under that for a 70-yard touchdown. And here we go on second. Up the middle, Jason trying to get a drive mounted here. Third down and about 7. Wide receiver, far side, left side, back off the end, split backs in the backfield. Under center is George. Here we go, and George going to pitch it back. He pitches it to the outside. Reynolds tries to run to the outside, nowhere to go. Drug down in the backfield. Good open field tackle right there. Jack Hungerford comes over and knocks down the freshman. And there's that freshman mentality. Jace usually outruns people. And right there, I think he thought he was going to get to the outside, and somebody closed real quick on that one, and he wasn't able to cut that corner. So it'll be a 4th down and 9, and the Cats going to punt it away. Colby Knowles stands at about his own 20-yard line. That one skips to Colby. He's able to get it off, though, and it bounces and out of bounds at about the 38-yard line, where Blue Valley Northwest will have its first drive of the second half. So 1st and 10 for Blue Valley Northwest from their own 38. We're in the third quarter. Couple of minutes in, we think. Here in the third quarter of this one, 3 wide receivers set to your right side, 1 to your left. Slyford in the backfield has Thomas next to him in the shotgun formation on 1st and 10 from their own 38. And here we go. They're going to hand it off for Thomas. He cuts back in the middle, gets past the 40, ball on the ground. It looks like the Cats recovered. We'll see. And it is Wildcat football. So the Cats come up with a break here on the first play of the second half for Blue Valley Northwest, and get a fumble return or recovery. And it'll be 1st and 10 for the Wildcats in Blue Valley Northwest territory. Down to the Blue Valley Northwest 41 is where they'll take over. Thomas hit the line and it popped out again. That's their second turnover for Blue Valley Northwest on the ball game. And here comes the Wildcats. I like the setup here the second half, going with that extra tight end and only a one receiver set are the Wildcats. Percival off the near end here, split backs in the backfield. Jaden Wilson gets a cutback inside the 40 to about the 38-yard line and wrapped up by a pack of Huskies down to the 37. So a 4-yard gain by him brings up a 2nd down and 6 for the Wildcats. Knowles going to flip sides here and go to the left side. Percival going to be off the left end. Reynolds on the left side. Right side is Wilson in the backfield. Under center is George. Split back veer. They're going to go right up the middle for Reynolds, and Reynolds gets inside the 35 down to the
varsity player, obviously. And I was wondering how he was going to use his receiver out there. The receiver did an excellent job, covering his guy so that way he could move off of it. So,
and being a freshman, like a little bit wise beyond his years there, is he kind of slowed up a little bit and kind of slow rolled it
to set it up
and then take it to the corner and get the touchdown. So the freshman with the touchdown, and the Cats are tied up at 12 apiece. They're going to go with a 3 wide receiver set, 2 to your right side, 1 to your left. They're going to go for 2 here with it tied at 12-12. Tires. And remember, on all extra points, for extra menu options for the whole family, make your one stop to Forged by Fire in the Price Chopper Shopping Center. That 2-point conversion brought to you by our good friends at Forged by Fire. I know they're watching down there in Harrisonville. Brandon had texted me just a little bit ago and said, hey, internet issues tonight. Yes, we've had issues all night long with the rain, everything going on, the internet issues, but we're trying to get it. Jerry is feverishly rolling around behind me, checking out 3 different computers, trying to make sure we get you the best action possible on 4Ts.com and at YouTube under 4Ts streaming. So the Cats' first lead of the season, Gary, 14-12 on the 33-yard touchdown run by the freshman.
And I hope everybody saw it because it was a work of art for him to. It was a great read, obviously, by Landon as he handed it to him, and all he saw was green other than the one that he had to get around down there.
Brody Pitts with a good kick. Drills this one inside the 10 to the 5. Blue Valley Northwest is going to return it to the 15, and no farther they go than the 15-yard line. Excellent kick coverage, just like excellent insurance coverage at Brad Sainer of Farmers Insurance in the A-frame on Kershaw. Farmers been there, covered that. Brad Sainer sponsors kick coverage. A lot of people are like, what? But the kick coverage, the insurance coverage is all good, and it'll be Blue Valley Northwest ball inside their own 20 at their own 17, and you can just feel the tide, the momentum shifting a little bit, Gary, here to the Wildcat sideline.
When you can feel the energy, I mean, not only the touchdown, but then the 2-point conversion, the way that came about, and now the kickoff coverage. This is what I've been looking forward to.
So 3 wide receivers set to your left side, 1 out to the right side. Shotgun formation. Slyford has Thomas with him in the backfield. Takes the snap. He's going to go over the middle. Has it. And a flag over the middle.
I wish you all could have seen that because when the flag came up, 59 with Blue Valley, he saw the flag go up. I think it may have been on him, but he dodged the flag so it wouldn't come down and hit him on the head.
So I believe that's going to be a hold there. And that'll push him back 10 yards, that spot foul. So it'll push him back to about the 12-yard line. It'll be first down from the 12. So first and about 16 for Blue Valley Northwest here. So 3 wide receivers set to your left, 1 to your right. Shotgun formation. Slyford has Thomas back there in the backfield with him. Thomas fumbled his last carry, first carry of the second half for Blue Valley Northwest. First play of the second half, I should say, for Blue Valley Northwest. Third quarter action, say about 5-6 minutes left in the third. We're not sure. The scoreboard is not working, but the Cats lead at 14-12. And the handoff for Thomas, and he cuts through a couple of tacklers and up to the 20. Gets some of that back. It'll bring up a second down and about 8 after the 8-yard gain. So 2nd and 8 coming up. So Cats lead at 14-12. And it's a 2nd and 8 with a 3 wide receiver set again to your left side, 1 to your right. And now they're going to go empty backfield here, and Slifer going to go right up the middle, nowhere to go, but manages to gain a couple. Tackled by Colin Carruthers and Christian Cooper on that one. So brings up about a 3rd and 5 here. 2 wide receivers to your left, 2 to your right. Now pistol formation, Thomas behind Slifer in the backfield. Looks it off and looks down to the side now. And here we go in the pistol. This time they're going to hand off to Thomas, and he sheds a tackler, gets to the outside, and makes the guy miss. Down the sidelines, Thomas goes. Brody Pitt's going to try to catch him. He's not going to catch him, and that is going to be a long touchdown run. No flags on the play. It'll be a 77-yard touchdown run by Thomas as he cuts to the outside, and the lead short-lived for the Cats. It's now 18-14 Blue Valley Northwest with a 2-point conversion coming up. So Blue Valley Northwest going to go for 2 here in the 3rd quarter. So Thomas just cut to the outside, had one guy to beat him, and it was a foot race, and he won that foot race. Here we go on the 2-point conversion. And he looks to throw, nowhere to go. Brody Pitts all over that one, and that ends the threat. It's 18-14, a 4-point lead for Blue Valley Northwest as they set to kick it off. We'll be right back after this.
There are a million places to buy a used car, so why not go somewhere you know lives by the Show Me State motto? The staff at Show Me wants to show you that Show Me spirit. Excellent service, affordable prices, and even loaners while you get your cars serviced. With 2 locations to serve you in Harrisonville and Belton, they will put you in your dream car, truck, or SUV, and if they don't have it, they'll find it for you. So drive on over to Show Me Auto Mall and drive away with your next car.
Hello, everybody, and welcome back. Cats are set to return. This one, Renee Maurer, our kick return contestant here tonight. If the Cats return a kick for a touchdown, she will win a $70 Sonic gift card. And just for playing, she will get a $10 gift card for being selected as our Sonic kick return contestant. So here we go, ready to kick is Blue Valley Northwest. Cats have a couple back, Percival and Knowles. High end over end kick. And it's going to be taken by the Cats at their own 10. Percival up to the 20, 25, 30, 33, and then tripped up at the 33-yard line. Josh Cusick with the tackle. Holes in your insurance coverage, just like on that kick return, then go see Brad Sainer with Farmers Insurance in the A-frame on Commercial across from Casey's. Farmers, they've been there, covered that. Here come the Wildcats out for another drive. It'll be Cats ball at their own 32-yard line. Split backs in backfield. George under center has a wide receiver out to the left side. And here they go. Hand it off for Reynolds, and Reynolds gets a couple of yards up to the 35-yard line. So it'll be people asking if they know how the 2-point conversion was scored by the Wildcats. We'll get to that in a minute. Paul Saffels was asking. As Cats go with 2 wide receivers, they're going to go up the middle. This time into the secondary is Wilson to the 40, to the 30. Is he going to answer right back to the 10, to the house? Touchdown, Wildcats. 65 yards. Jaden Wilson breaks into the secondary, and the Cats jump out to a 20-18 lead here as both teams trade long touchdown runs. And Paul, before we get to this extra point, We'll tell you about the other one here in just a second. Touchdown in your tires on the pavement shouldn't let you down. Go see Young's Tire and Wheel Center to check out your tires. Proud sponsor of every Wildcat touchdown. The 2-point conversion was a throwback pass. On the backside was a backdoor screen that Jaden Wilson took into the end zone. And they're going to go for 2 again here. They're up 20-18. This will make it a 4-point game. And here we go. Right off the end, Jace Reynolds. 2-point conversion is good. Extra mini options for the whole family. Make one stop at Forged by Fire in the Price Chopper Shopping Center. Extra points and extra menu options at Forged by Fire. Cats up 22-18. We'll take a timeout. You're watching Wildcat Football on 4Ts.com.
When you live in a small town, you need someone you can trust to buy a used car from. Steve Holland with Holland Auto Sales is that guy. Selling cars in Harrisonville for 35 years gains you that trust. Used car dealers can come and go, but not Steve. Holland Auto Sales, with 3 generations of Hollands graduating from Harrisonville, means he will be here for years to come. So go see the guy who the Grammer family trusts to buy from. Steve Holland with Holland Auto Sales on Commercial Street, just past Burger King.
All right, welcome back. Cats regain the lead here in Blue Valley. They're in the Blue Valley. They're in Overland Park, Kansas, off 135th and Schweitzer, across from the Shields Soccer Complex at the Blue Valley Activity Complex. And the Wildcat offense has come alive here in the third quarter, Gary.
It has. I mean, Wilson just went over 100 yards with that 65-yard run. He's at 112 unofficially. And Reynolds is knocking on the door. He's been the workhorse with 15 carries at 92 yards. So, I mean, what we've been looking for to happen, the last 2 drives have been 3 plays and 2 plays. We've been on that 10-play or 15-play drive. But it hadn't been happening yet. So here we go.
Here comes another Brew Daddy's kickoff. Kick off your mornings at Harrisonville's only drive-through coffee shop, Brew Daddy's Coffee, next to Commerce Bank on Commercial. That went into the end zone for a touchback. Great coverage on that one for the Wildcats. And for great insurance coverage, go see Brad Sainer with Farmers Insurance. And the A-frame on Commercial across from Casey's. Farmers has been there, covered that. Blue Valley is going to get the ball from their own 20 here at some point in the third quarter. I'm going to say 3-ish minutes maybe to go in the third quarter, but there may be a lot longer than that because we've had 2 long touchdown runs and 1 sustained drive is it really in this third quarter. So shotgun formation again for Slifer and Blue Valley Northwest. He has Thomas in the backfield, 77-yard touchdown. Last time he touched the ball, 2 wide receivers to your left, 2 to your right. In motion they're going to go and send 3 out to your right side. Handoff, no, up the middle they're going to go Slivert, and to the outside he bounces and drags a couple of defenders for about 7-8 yards. Going to be second and a couple for Blue Valley Northwest here. So 2 wide receivers to your left, 2 to your right. Jaden Wilson, we talk about how he has just came into his own here in this ball game, over 100 yards, a big 60-plus yard touchdown run. 2 wide receivers left, 2 to your right. This time they go up the middle with Thomas, and Thomas cuts back past the 30 for a first down. That'll move the chains up to about the 31-yard line. And it's almost as if the Cats, it's all starting to come together. They always talk about the split back veer formation. I remember the movie Remember the Titans, Remember the Veer offense. Just like Novocaine, just keep working. It'll start working eventually. Throw it out on the flats far side and down the sidelines. Good open field tackle, 1 man to beat out there, and the Cats were able to wrap it up and take him down to keep another long touchdown from happening. 22-18 our score. Third quarter, some point in the third quarter. 2 wide receivers to your left, 2 to your right. Shotgun formation for Slifer. On 1st and 10 from the 44, their own 44. They fake the handoff, go right up the middle. Forrest Leifert breaks a couple of tackles, gets a couple of yards up to about the 47-yard line. We'll see where they mark him. Host of Wildcats in on that one, including Trevor Campbell, the last one to get up off of that pile there. Here we go on 2nd down and 7, and the Cats on the near side here. I believe that was Campbell. Campbell slapping himself there a little bit on that mistake, and it's going to give it into Blue Valley's going to be into Wildcat territory down to the Wildcat 49-yard line. 2nd and about 3 now for Blue Valley Northwest.
Got a new running back in there too.
So yes, their other running back, Avion Tucker, in there. 2 wide receivers to your left, 2 to your right. Sophomore running back for Blue Valley Northwest. Shotgun, they're going to fake the handoff and right up the middle. They're going to go with Slyford. He tries to bounce the outside, and the Cats stuff him on the far side, and whistle is blown. Trevor Campbell with the initial contact, and Trevor just kept holding and pushing all the way to the far side. He's lined up on tackle on the right side and ended up with the tackle all the way over on the left side. So 3rd down and short coming up, pistol formation for Blue Valley Northwest right by midfield. Lyford has Tucker behind him in the backfield. 22-18 our score here, 3rd quarter. Cats with a 4-point lead. 2 wide receivers to your left, 2 to your right. And here we go, fake, and then they throw it back side and nowhere to go. And the Cats are going to hold defensively there. They looked near side, threw it the backside like wide receiver bubble screen, and nowhere for him to go. Ball going to be near midfield. Blue Valley Northwest showing like they're going to go for it here on 4th down. They need about 4. Ball right at midfield, and they do need 4 yards for this one. They need to get to the 46 of the Wildcats. And here comes a big 4th down coming up. 2 wide receivers, your left, 2 your right. Shotgun, Slyford in the shotgun. He's going to take the snap, fake it, throws it over the middle, has his man, Dole, and he's going to break into the secondary down inside the 10 to the 5. And that's been a back-breaking play for the Cats with that little shot over the middle. And Blue Valley Northwest takes it all the way down to the 9-yard line. It'll be 1st and goal for Blue Valley Northwest. 2 wide receivers to your left, 2 to your right. Ball skips to Slyford, and he's going to take it, throws it in the flats for Dole again, and he gets close to the end zone.
He was past the line of scrimmage when he threw the ball, so that's going to be an illegal forward pass because he was like at the 8 or 7 or 8 yard line.
But I do not see a flag out.
There is one thrown by the back judge.
So we will see what they're going to call here. So he threw it out to Dolch, and he could not quite get in the end zone, but it is an illegal forward pass, as Gary mentioned, which will be, I believe, a loss of down and
should be
10 yards. I don't remember exactly how that one will roll, but we'll see. So they are going to push this one back. So it'll be a loss of down as well. It should be. But, of course, we don't have a scoreboard. So
this may be – oh, no, it was a timeout by us.
So timeout Harrisonville. We'll take a timeout as well. Does your vehicle need a timeout? Go to Young's Auto Repair. Have them check it out right behind the garage on Commercial. We'll be right back.
Need an important document printed. In Harrisonville, that can spell disaster. Not any longer, though. Kaleidoscope Digital Services has you covered with inexpensive printing services. No more trips to the city just to get a copy made. And that's not all. Computer on the fritz, they'll take a look. Wi-Fi needed for workspace, and even starting a local gaming community, plus new board games to try. Head up to the historic Harrisonville Square and check out Kaleidoscope Digital Services on the corner of Wall and Independence Street.
Welcome back. Late 3rd quarter. Cats call a timeout. It is 2nd down and goal from about the 14. It still shows first down. I believe it's second down, but I have not seen a change. We don't have a scoreboard to know if it's first or second down. And Jerry's talking about something here. So I was looking to see if the official tells us. I can't see anything out of that. So second down, first down, we'll see. It's goal to go for Blue Valley Northwest. Shotgun formation. Slivert got a man in motion, going to have 3 out to the left side now, 1 to the right. He's going to go to the right side, pitch it back for Thomas, and Thomas nowhere to go. Cats defense, Isaiah Patrick and others in on that one. Brings up a second down. So they're calling it second. Illegal forward pass. I thought you lost a down, but I could be wrong. I've been wrong before. Two wide receivers. Way more than once, Jerry. Ask my wife. 2 wide receivers to the left, 2 to the right. Pistol formation in the backfield. Cats lead 22-18, late third quarter of this one. And this time they look for Thomas. They go over the middle. Tried to go over the middle, but overthrows everybody. Going to bring up a third down. And on a day when Mizzou people were talking about setting up a rematch with Colorado out of conference on the 40th anniversary of the 5th down game, it is third down, maybe fourth, we don't know, here in this one. So they got a third down and goal. 2 to the left, 2 to the right, but nobody on the Harrisonville side saying much here. They go throw it incomplete, and it brings up fourth down and goal now. So that tells me I guess it wasn't a loss of down because the Harrisonville sideline isn't screaming about it either, or it just got lost in translation somewhere where with you don't have the scoreboard going and it's a little chaotic down there. So fourth and goal coming up for Blue Valley Northwest here.
Well, as long as they keep them out of the end zone here, I mean, they got 19 yards to go. That's all they've got to do to win this battle.
14.
Oh, excuse
but
me.
But they need to watch that pass over the middle to Dolch that has had a couple of them. 2 wide receivers left, 2 to right, pistol formation. Now a shotgun. Thomas looks to throw the fade. Incomplete. Ball bounces around. Good defense by the Cats on the far side, and they're going to hold. Didn't see who the one was that knocked that one away. But Isaiah Patrick, you see him running down the sideline there. You can just see he brings a little bit more spark to the team and has them fired up as a defensive captain. So late third quarter here. Cats will get the ball back from their own 14-yard line with a 22-18 lead. Wide receiver flanked out left side. In tight on the right. Split backs in the backfield. Percival off the end. Reynolds and Wilson, and this time they give it to Wilson, and Wilson pops to the outside, past the 20 to the 21, 22-yard line, and it'll bring up a second down and about 4, so a 6-yard gain by Jaden Wilson for the Wildcats. So second down coming up. And I'm thinking we may be really close to the end of the third quarter, as neither team's really going towards the ball. And there's a whistle. And that is the end of the third quarter. 3 quarters in the book. The Cats lead 22-18. We'll be back after this.
When you want all the latest news about the Wildcats, turn to the South Cass Tribune. A large sports section, honor rolls, robotics, and even news and notes from all 6 Harrisonville campuses. They are sure to have you covered. They are happy to say the Wildcats are their hometown team. Find the Tribune around town at various establishments or get a subscription delivered right to your mailbox. Keep up with everything each week in the South Cass Tribune, Harrisonville's home news source. A strong starting lineup is a key to a great team. Insurance is no different, and Stafford Insurance has the best lineup in town. With personal, commercial, health, life, farm, and crop insurance, they have you covered. 40-plus employees are there for you to find the best rates, walk you through claims, and make sure they are there for every step of the way. So if you're looking for a full-service insurance company with a strong starting lineup, go see the folks over at Stafford Insurance on Commercial Street across from Holland Auto Sales.
Hello, everybody, and welcome back to Overland Park, Kansas. Your Harrisonville Wildcats lead at 22-18 after 3. The offense came alive in that third quarter, and I think the Cats have found them some running mates in the backfield. Jaden Wilson and Jace Reynolds, over 200 yards between the two of them.
Yeah, Wilson's got 10 carries, 119 yards, and Reynolds has 15 carries for 92 yards.
So we'd love to get two guys over 100 yards here in the ball game. Wide receiver to the left side, split backs in the backfield. George looks to the sideline, 22-18, Cats with the lead. And this time they're going to go up the middle with it to Jace Reynolds, and he gets it up to the 25 for another Wildcat first down. Think Troby's first when you think home appliances. That is another Troby's Maytag Home Appliance Center first down. So the 1st and 10 for the Cats. Under center is George. And here we go. George this time hands off for Wilson, and Wilson's going to get a pair up to the 28-yard line. Bring up a second down and about 8 for the Wildcats. Hopefully, I think we've got the streaming issues worked out here in the second half. So Brandon at Forged by Fire, everybody watching at Forged by Fire, just know that it was not Brandon's fault. Split backs in the backfield. Under center is George. And here we go. George looking to pass this time. He's got his man, but floats it up high. Back for it is Knowles, and he gets to the 40, inside the 40 to the 37-yard line. I think they wanted a pass interference on the near side here. They were hollering for it, but wasn't excessive on either side there, just fighting for a ball that was in the air. And the Cats are in business down to the 38-yard line after the big gain
35
of 35 yards on that pass. And again, get the heavy wind, and that one floated up there for quite a while. Wide receiver left, wide receiver right, split backs in the backfield. Percival off the end. This time they're going to hand off for Wilson, and Wilson into the second line. He gets past the 35-yard line and finally blown dead. Jaden Wilson with a 4-yard gain. And pounds his way forward for more. And several things going on right now, Gary. They're running clock. They're running the ball well. And they're marching towards the end zone again.
Right, and don't say the other thing, because I was afraid. Because I know I would have wanted to say that, but they are. I mean, this is what we've been looking forward to. They've been consistently inconsistent. They would have some good drives, but something would happen, and so hopefully now we've got this resolved and
brings up a second down and about 6 for the Cats. Wide receiver left and right, split backs in the backfield. Percival off the end. Be a great time for a counter here. Instead, they go right up the middle with Reynolds, and Reynolds is going to have 3 yards maybe on that one. So Jace Reynolds with the carry down to the 31.
100 yards for Reynolds now. So we got 2 in the 100-yard category.
So 2 with 100 yards for the Wildcats as the rushing has come alive for the Cats here in the second half. Split back formation. And here we go. Up the middle, Wilson into the secondary with the first down to the 23-yard line. And the Wildcats take it for another Troby's Maytag Home Appliance Center first down. Think Troby's first when you think Home Appliances. Glad to see that my wife has pulled it up on our new Apple TV, and it is streaming well. Wide receiver to the left, 2 to the right. Percival being the back off the end, split backs to the backfield. Here we go. Up the middle they're going to go, and Reynolds, that was a broken mesh play right there, Gary, as Reynolds and George both hung on to the football there. So that means if my wife is watching, that means I've got 2 little kids running around, and Braxton is probably running around crazy right now, knowing that his dad is on TV talking.
And especially since you said his name. So hello there, Braxton.
So 2nd down and 9. Wide receiver off the left end, split backs in the backfield. Here we go. This handoff goes to Wilson, and a good hold right there by Blue Valley Northwest as they were able to get through there and hold on to Wilson and bring up a 3rd down and 9. Now, I said a while ago, we talked about a counter play. 3rd and 9. It's maybe a good time. You've been just running your straight veer here. That counter play, they catch them off balance.
It is, but it runs so close to the line. The line has got to hold their line of scrimmage. If they don't, it will get caught in the backfield. And so that's the one thing they got to be careful with.
So there's going to be a timeout on the field. Cat's going to call a timeout, their 2nd timeout of the half. Does your vehicle need a timeout? Go to Young's Auto Repair and have them check it out right behind the garage on Commercial Street. We'll be right back.
You need multiple things for a project at home but don't want to go all over the city to find it? You need to go see Tom and Lonnie Cook at the 38,000 square foot Trade Fair Mall. Over 200 booths with Amish-made jelly, new and used furniture, antiques, toys, and a little bit of everything you can think of. Harrisonville's Trade Fair Mall can be your one-stop for everything. Whether it's your first time to Harrisonville or you've been here for years, the Trade Fair is definitely a see-it-to-believe-it type of place right across the street from Sutherland's.
You know, on 3rd down here, Gary, we were kind of talking about like something you can do to catch them off guard, try to get a 1st down, but really the ball's at the 22-yard line. You're in 4-down territory right now anyway. You unless you feel like, I mean, we're talking the teeth of a heavy wind there. You're looking at a 40-yard field goal right now. I know Brody, let me spit this out if I can get it out. Brody Pitts has kicked a 40-plus yarder, but not into the wind and not with somebody rushing against him. So we'll see what happens on 3rd and 9.
Yeah, I mean, we've been successful running the ball. Continue to do what you got here.
So split backs in the backfield, under center is George. And they're going to go on that counter play into the 15, 10, 5, and Percival inside the 5.
Tell me something. Were you inside the huddle or something here?
Down to the 3, and it's 1st and goal, Wildcats. As you know, we talk about it, though. You got it. You keep pounding with the same thing. You switch it up. They go on the counter. They get the 1st down, and they got a 1st and goal now down to the 3-yard line.
Yeah, and they're in the driver's seat now. 4th quarter. I mean, they are in the driver's seat. They need to score here and then hold on defense.
So here we go on 1st down. They're going to hand it off for Reynolds. Reynolds gets to the middle of the field, and that's it to the 3. Going to bring up 2nd down and goal. And that was a Troby's Maytag Home Appliance Center 1st down. Think Troby's first when you think home appliances. 2nd down and goal coming up for the Cats. Going to mark him back at the 4.5-yard line. Looks like they lost 1.5 yards. So 2nd down and goal coming up for the Cats on the split back. Right up the middle, they're going to go Wilson, and Wilson gets close to the end zone. Going to be marked at about the 1-yard line. Going to bring up 3rd down and goal for the Wildcats. So like Gary said, you know, you got to punch it in here. You're up 4. This would be a 2-score game if you can get it in up by at least 10. You get another 2-point conversion, you go up 12, and it's a 2-touchdown game. So here we go on 3rd down.
Got 10 in the box.
And this time, right up the middle, they snuff it out. And it brings up 4th down for Blue Valley Northwest.
I just wonder, I'd like to see that replay, because if he used the assistance of his defense to get over the line, because he jumped over the line, and that may be what they're talking about.
And Coach, I don't see Coach Maxwell upset very often. Coach Maxwell chucked his headset about 45 yards down the field. He is not happy here, and he says, come over here, I need to talk to you. And he's still going at it. Coach Maxwell is not happy here, and he wants somebody to talk to him about it. Blue Valley Northwest fans aren't happy now, but Coach Maxwell is fit to be tied.
You can't use the assistance on anything from the defensive side, and it looked like that's what he did. Couldn't say that.
And that's a unsportsmanlike conduct on the Wildcat sideline, and that'll push it back 15 yards.
To be quite frank with you, I think he's got a reason to be mad. But
well, it brings up now a 4th and goal. All the way, well.
What was that? Maybe that was a sideline warning. That's probably what that was a sideline warning. It's the reason it's 5 yards.
Cats are going to spread it out here, 4th down and goal. We got a whistle and a timeout, Harrisonville. So after all of that, we've got a timeout. Does your vehicle need a timeout? Go to Young's Auto Repair and have them check it out right behind the garage on Commercial Street. We'll be right back.
When you climb in your vehicle with your kids and head to the Wildcat game, you want to be safe. Make sure your tires are safe by visiting William and Michelle's at Young's Tire and Wheel Center. You might not need them today. William can give you a peace of mind by letting you know when you will. If tires are needed, they will get you the best tire on the market and Harrisonville's best tire warranty with free flat repair for life of the tire. So stay safe with new tires from Young's Tire and Wheel Center.
All right, welcome back. 4th quarter action here. 4th and goal coming up. We were talking about it. The Cats were in the driver's seat, but now it's a 4th and goal from about the 9. Cats need a touchdown here to make it a 2-score game. Do you think about maybe kicking a field goal here? You're looking at about a 28-yard field goal here.
I think what their thought is, they're thinking they're going to punch it in and end the game right here. And I like that thought. I mean, especially the struggle that we've had in the first couple of games. Let's go ahead and make a statement. We're making a statement that you can't stop us.
So wide receiver to the left, wide receiver to right. George going to be under center, 4th and goal. Cats lead 22-18 here in the 4th quarter. Percival off your end on the right side. Under center goes George on 4th down, and he fakes and he looks for the pass. Goes to Knowles. Catch, touchdown, Wildcats. Colby Knowles, near side.
I think
Wildcat,
that's the statement.
Touchdown.
That is the statement. You're not going to stop us, especially after that last play.
So the Wildcats score the touchdown. Colby Knowles, a little fade into the end zone, and Colby just fought his defender off and comes down with the touchdown. And the Cats lead it 28-18 with the extra point coming up. And, an extra point makes an 11-point game. So smart move by the coaches to try to kick this one through. As Brandon Johnson set to kick it through. The kick down. Kick is up. Kick is good. And the Cats lead by 11. Extra menu options for the whole family. Make one stop to Forge by Fire in the Price Chopper Shopping Center. Your extra point headquarters will be back right after this.
What is your time worth? Think about it the next time you head to the city to spend hours and days shopping for home appliances and to save a few dollars. Instead, drive across town and see Erlene and her staff that's right here for your convenience. You can be in or out in a short amount of time with amazing service, a great product, and they always treat you like family. Located behind Hawthorne Bank on Plaza Drive, so spend all your extra time you saved cheering on the Wildcats. And remember, think Trobies first when you think of home appliances.
All right, welcome back. Wildcats lead it 29-18.
And if I got it right, I may not have exact right plays, Chad, but I've got 14 plays, 86-yard drive, and took up, I would say, at least 6 or 7 minutes of the clock.
Unofficially, Ron said next door, he goes, I think I've got it around 6 minutes to go here in this one. The kick and the whistle, maybe an offsides on the Wildcats here. It'll push them back 5 yards. A lot of things to look at in this ball game. I feel right now like the Cats maybe found some backfield mates in Jaden Wilson and Mr. Jace Reynolds, the freshman. So that's some good news. Just finding the right combination, and that's what they said, that they're going to have some growing pains in this one. And obviously it doesn't get any easier next week. Yeah, Columbia Battle coming to town, number 5 in Class 5 on the Missouri side. So they've played number 2, they've played number 5 in Class 3, number 2 in Class 4. They'll play number 5 or maybe even higher. I haven't seen this week's stuff. So we'll see, what happens next week. But right now, you got to finish this one off.
Yeah, you do. I mean, we can be up 11 points, but that doesn't do anything. It's not over till it's over.
And Blue Valley Northwest can score in a hurry. They've shown it a couple of times here tonight. So the Wildcats have got to finish this one off. They lead it 29-18 in this one. About half the fourth quarter left to go, we think. High end over and kick. Good kick by Brody Pitts, taken by Dolch at about the 10. He looks for a running room to the 20, to the 30. Up the middle he goes to the 40 and hammered down at about the 42-yard line. They're going to mark him at the 41, and Blue Valley Northwest will have the ball at their own 41-yard line. 29-18, Cats with the lead here in the fourth quarter of this one. So 2 wide receivers to your left, 2 to your right. They show pistol formation with Slyford in the backfield. Talks to his running back there in Thomas. Now directs him to the side and in the shotgun. They throw it out in the near side. And a catch at the 41. Was they going to call that a catch, or are they going to? I'm going to say second down. I think that's incomplete. It was intended for Tanner Sample on the near side. Look for Dolch over the middle here. And this time they're going to give it to Thomas. He goes right up the middle, past the 45, close to midfield. Going to bring up a third down and a couple. Third at the ball at their own 49. So third down coming up. 2 wide receivers to the left, 2 to the right. Shotgun formation for Slyford. And here this time he hands off. Nope, goes up the middle and does not get the first down. He leans forward to be close to a first down. Maybe with second effort he got it into Wildcat territory. Going to bring up, looks like they're going to mark it as a fourth down here. Fourth and just a couple of inches. And the shotgun formation coming up. So fourth down and short coming up for Blue Valley Northwest. Right at midfield. Cats showing blitz here. Patrick creeping in there between his defensive linemen. And now Slyford changes it at the last second. 2 wide receivers left, 2 to the right. See if he just tries to sprint this one up the middle. And he's going to.
Get him.
They're going to get him in the backfield. Coming through there on the backside. I believe that was
Patrick.
Was that Patrick? Couldn't see if it was Patrick or Colin Carruthers maybe. Either way, both of them read it from the get-go, and it brings up a first down for the Wildcats. Let's see if Jerry had a replay back there. So
the energy that they're playing with right now is great. I love to see it.
So it'll be a 1st and 10 for the Cats at the Blue Valley Northwest 49-yard line. Split backs in the backfield. Reynolds and Wilson. They're going to hand it off for Reynolds. No, it looks like it was Landon George who took that one, and he coughs it up right back to Blue Valley Northwest. So Blue Valley Northwest going to get another shot here from their own 40 after the Wildcat turnover. So after all that, they get the ball back at their own 40-yard line here in the fourth quarter, down 29-18 is Blue Valley Northwest. Two wide receivers, flank to your right, two to your left. Shotgun formation. Flyford has Thomas in the backfield. And here we go on first down. They're going to throw it deep, and they've got a man past Cheney, and Cheney able to wrap him up and take him down as Dolsch jumps up, excited for the catch. Brings up a 1st and 10 down inside the 25-yard line. Two wide receivers to your left, two to your right. Clock is rolling here. Pistol formation this time. Thomas behind Slifer. They're going to hand it to Thomas, and Thomas cuts back, tries to get to the outside, does. Past the tackle, and all the way out of bounds he goes. On the far side after a first down to the 10-yard line. It'll bring up a 1st and goal for Blue Valley Northwest at the 10. We have a whistle and an official's timeout here. And I'm not really sure what the official's timeout was for. But Slifer went to the sideline on that official's timeout. Now telling everybody the play on 1st and goal from the 10. Shotgun formation for Slifer. And this time he's looking to throw. He's going to throw it deep and wide open in the end zone for a touchdown. Zach Cheney, I'm not sure what he was doing. He just let it float right over him for the touchdown. And it is now back to a 29-24 game. 2-point conversion would make this a 3-point game. And it looks like they are going to go for 2 here. That was hauled in by Evan Rinaldo for the touchdown. Two wide receivers to your left, two to your right. Shotgun formation for 2 points. This will be a big one. And they look to throw, and they throw it over the middle, incomplete. And Dolsch goes to the ground. And that is incomplete, and it'll go back. Cats will get the ball up by 5 after this. We'll be right back.
Decisions on the football field must be made in a split second. When buying a home, it is quite the opposite. Let Carol Looney and her staff at American Heritage walk you through the process with ease. They will make sure buying your dream home doesn't become a nightmare. From the first showing until the keys are in your hand, go with the realtors that have called Harrisonville home since 1981. American Heritage Realtors, office located next to Sonic on Commercial, or go see them at americanheritage-realtors.com.
All right, welcome back. 5-point game here. Blue Valley Northwest set to kick it off from their own 40, and Gary brought up a good point. We don't know up here the amount of time that's left. I'm assuming probably 3-ish minutes to go in this one.
The way they were huddled up over here makes me think that they're going to consider an onside kick. Harrisonville thinks they're going to go onside, got one man back. So what I would think is now would be a good opportunity. We've got the wind. Why not kick it, into a dead space over here and try to get it running down rather than do the onside, but we'll see.
So here goes a kick, a little pooch kick, and they're going to take it down at about
go out
of bounds, and they're going to give him they're going to say he was out of bounds when he touched it.
Right.
So that'll push it up to the 35 or the 40. And I think that's what they were talking about, was he was out of bounds when he touched it. But Percival, I mean, he did what he had to do there, because you can't let it bounce. I mean, they could have recovered that, and it does go. Shoot. And so, nevertheless, it'll be Cats ball here with, we don't know how much time left. Late fourth quarter, let's put it at that. It's 29-24. Cats lead by 5 in this one. Kick off your mornings at Harrisonville's only drive-thru coffee shop, Brew Daddy's, next to Commerce Bank on Commercial Street.
Well, we've got to hold on to the ball. That's the first thing. We need to grind out some clock, grind out some yardage, and just hold on to the ball.
You got Reynolds and Wilson in the backfield. They go with that extra tight end this time. And try to churn some clock out and just run this one out. They go right up the middle to Wilson, and Wilson just stays on his feet, churns for 10,
first down.
And a first down up to the 45-yard line. Another good run by Jaden Wilson.
Unofficially 146 yards on the night.
Love seeing the running by Jaden Wilson here tonight.
But he's going off limping too, so.
Maybe Charlie horse, probably nothing, just tweaked an ankle, something like that. We'll get you an update as Crowley and Reynolds will now be in the backfield here. First and 10 from the 45-yard line for the Wildcats. Wildcats not in any hurry to get up to the line of scrimmage here.
Well, and the way they do this, usually the back judge should motion to the quarterback when there's 5 seconds left.
And then he'll start
the count.
Yeah.
So if he'll wait and watch, and that's what he's, well, I thought he was going to do that.
And this time they're going to hand off right up the middle. They go. Carson Crowley into the secondary, past a couple of defenders, and another 18-yard gain. And the Cats are in business down to the 37-yard line. And we've got a whistle and a timeout call by Blue Valley Northwest. Does your vehicle need a timeout? Go to Young's Auto Repair and have them check it out right behind the garage on Commercial Street. And this is what we're used to seeing, Gary, is the split back veer. You're looking at 200-plus yards on the night, probably approaching 300 yards rushing for the Wildcats. It wears defenses down. You look up on both sides of the ball for Blue Valley Northwest. They play two platoon. You're an offensive player or you're a defensive player. They're a Class 6 Kansas school with about 2,300 kids in it. So you know they got the kids to choose from. But what you're seeing is, regardless, they're wearing down that defensive line, that second level of defense. Those linebackers and those defensive linemen are not the ones making the tackles right now. It's their safeties and their cornerbacks. That shows you what the veer can do when you give it time.
And do you think maybe Crowley's a little hungry right now? This is only his second carry, and his first carry he got 4 yards, and that was back in the first quarter. This one he got 18. I think those running backs, the competition makes everybody hungry.
Just like starting pitchers and relievers and hitters in baseball. Wide receiver flanked out left side, back off the end is Percival. Split backs in the backfield, under center they go with George. Right up the middle they go, and again Carson Crowley barrels forward for 6, 7, almost 8 yards. They're going to mark him inside the 30-yard line, and it's close to another Wildcat first down, 8 yards. That was a Wildcat first down a while ago. Troby's Maytag Home Appliance Center. Think Troby's first when you think home appliances. Second down and a couple for the Cats here. Late fourth quarter, Cats lead at 29-25. They've come alive in the second half of this one offensively. And it goes back to the second quarter, and we'll talk about that a little bit later.
Okay, so there goes the hand up. So he's got 5 seconds to take it off.
And here we go on second down, and he's going to hand off right about the 1 second mark. And again, a couple of yards. Carson Crowley gets another first down for the Wildcats. It's another Troby's Maytag Home Appliance Center first down. Think Troby's first. When you think home appliances, ball inside the 27 to the 26-yard line, and it's first and 10 for the Wildcats. Late fourth quarter of this one. So we'll wait here. And 1st and 10 for the Cats. And there's the countdown. Takes it to 1 second. And a knee was taken by the Wildcats.
So they must be within a minute or so with a kneel down.
So looks like we may have a whistle and a timeout on. So there is a timeout. We'll take a quick 30-second timeout. Does your vehicle need a timeout? Go to Young's Auto Repair and have them check it out right behind the garage on Commercial Street.
No matter how many things you've had on the menu at Applebee's, everyone has their favorite. Whether it's an appetizer sampler, chicken fajita roll-up, or 3-cheese chicken penne with a side of buffalo sauce, you always go back to your favorite. At some point over the years, every Wildcat has had a meal at Applebee's. The next time you head to Applebee's in your Wildcat gear, mention the Wildcat Special and receive a 10% discount. Applebee's of Harrisonville on Rockhaven Road, Caddy Corner to Quick Trip.
All right, welcome back. I know people are tuning in, wondering how much time's left. We have zero idea how much time is left. The scoreboard's been out since halftime, so we're kind of guessing game. So obviously we're thinking under a minute as the kneel down went with Lane and George there on 1st down. This brings up 2nd down, and I think that might have been the last time out for Blue Valley Northwest. So
yeah, and remind everybody, the score is 29-24 Harrisonville right now in the 4th quarter with time clicking. So
here we go on 2nd down, and this time they're going to run it, and they're going to run it to Reynolds, and Reynolds is going to get a couple. Looks like he's going to have about 3. And we got a whistle and another timeout, Blue Valley Northwest. So it brings up a 3rd down. And does your vehicle need a timeout? Go to Young's Auto Repair. So cute. My son tries to text, and he does the voice to text. And I just sit here and laugh, Gary, because Braxton's trying to voice to text me, and it says, Daddy, the nurturing just won, and I do not love me, and I just need to tell Pink. And Mommy said ice with Trump. I don't not real sure what Braxton was talking about, but nevertheless, Braxton will be home here in a little bit here. So, nevertheless, we're close to closing this one out. Cats lead 29-24, trying to get their first win of the season in comeback fashion. It was 12-0 early. They were down. Looked like they were struggling, and they found it at some point in the late 1st quarter and have been a different football team since then. 3rd down and 8 coming up for the Cats. Under center is George. Split backs in the backfield. And here we go on 3rd down, and they hand it to Wilson. I believe that was Wilson in there. And they do give it to Jaden Wilson up to the 21-yard line. And Blue Valley Northwest cannot stop the clock. 4th down coming up for the Wildcats. 4th and about 4. Going to make it 5 here. And it looks like the Cats are going to have to snap it here. So a 4th down coming up. And here we go on 4th down, right up the middle of Wilson. He's getting close to a 1st down. Takes it down to the 18-yard line. Ball was blown dead. So it's 1st down and 10 from their own 18 for Blue Valley Northwest. And I have no clue how much time is left in this football game. And I hate that because I assumed there was not very much time left as the Wildcats took a knee. And several Cats who just want to play back deep here on 1st and 10 ball. Keep everything in front of you. And they're going to throw it out in the flats and out of bounds to about the 26-yard line. It'll be a 2nd down and a couple. So there must be a little bit more time than we thought, or they're just trying to get close enough where they can just chuck one deep and hope something happens here. So late 4th quarter, Cats lead at 29-24, up by 5. Shotgun it coming up. 2 wide receivers to your left, 2 to your right. And here they go. Cat's going to show blitz this time. Throw it to the far side again, out of bounds. Ball at the 31-yard line now. Ronaldo with both of these catches. Kyron Beavers out there playing safety. About the 45-yard line. 2 wide receivers left, 2 to the right, late fourth quarter. And here they go on the shotgun again. They're going to throw it now. This time float it down the sidelines. And Ronaldo again comes down with it inside the 50 to the 43-yard line. And I'm just confused with why we took a knee on a first down. As now switching it out, Tarwater going to come into the ball game and switch Cheney over to the far side. Ball down to the 43 of the Wildcats here, late fourth quarter. Cats trying to close it out, up by 5. And here we go. Throws deep, has a man picked off. Kyron Beavers slides in front of it for the interception.
And that was set up by the defensive line. They hit him as he threw the ball, and that's the reason it ended up short. And so I've got to assume now you can take a knee, and they can't stop the clock. I mean,
we have no idea. But we hope they can take a knee now. Kyron Beavers with a huge interception slides in front of it and takes it away and takes the last chance for the, we think he takes the last chance for the Blue Valley Northwest Huskies. Cats come out, and we'll know real quick. Yes, they're coming out in victory formation. As back deep as Percival there, they always got that safety valve back deep. Cats are going to kneel on this one and put their first victory of the 2018 season to bed. 29-24 will be the final score, unless the scoreboard comes on and tells us there's 3.5 minutes left. I mean, we don't know. Until I see the officials wave it off and run off the field, we're still playing football. Second down coming up. And that will do it as the Cats win it 29-24 over the Blue Valley Northwest Huskies in Overland Park, Kansas. Get their first victory of 2018 and move to 1-2 on the early season. Columbia Battle, state-ranked Class 5 team, comes to town next week. We'll take a timeout, and we'll be back with your post-game show brought to you by your post-game headquarters. That is Forged by Fire. We'll be back right after this.
Atkinson Funeral Home and Cremation Service has been serving families in the area since 1929. The Atkinsons take great pride in being members of the community. They will soon graduate a 4th-generation Wildcat. With this kind of commitment to Harrisonville, you know Atkinson Funeral Home will be there for you. As always, they are proud sponsors of the Harrisonville Wildcats.
The Harrisonville Square is quickly becoming a shopping destination, and a big reason why is Birdie's Boutique and Antiques at the corner of Lexington and Pearl Street. Birdie's offers a unique combination of fashionable clothing, furniture, accessories, home decor, and gifts. For the ladies in your life, it's the place to take them. With a little bit of everything, they are sure to make you leave with something new. So the next time you want to go shopping, head up to Historic Square and check out Harrisonville's newest hot spot for fashion, Birdie's Boutique and Antiques.
Hello, everybody. Welcome back to Overland Park, Kansas, just south of Blue Valley Northwest High School at the Blue Valley Activity Center. And your Harrisonville Wildcats in the victory column for the first time this season. 1-2 now on the year. And guess what? I don't have to eat a shoe.
Oh, that's all you were worried about. I know, Chad. But it was going to be a, what, size 14 shoe or something, somebody said?
I mean, I can make a mean shoe cake, so it would have been all right. But nevertheless, Cats win it. They go to 1-2 on the year. And it is your postgame show brought to you by Forged by Fire. Harrisonville's postgame headquarters is Forged by Fire. Head on over now as they get started on Friday Night Trivia. Wildcats, you know, Gary, beginning of the game, looked good. First series looked good. You had the fumble, give the ball back to them. They score quickly and fumble again. I don't remember exactly how that went, but next thing you know, we're down 12-0 early first quarter. And you know, creeped in, I'm sure, to the fans, to the coaches, to everybody. Here we go again. That's how it started the first couple of weeks. Cats were able to dig down, find something. A couple of things I saw out there. Having Isaiah Patrick back in uniform, whether he was playing the entire game or not, just seemed to light a fire, especially defensively under those guys. Offensively, I don't know what was said on the sideline to Jaden Wilson and the running backs, but Jaden started running like a man possessed after that first couple of series, and he comes with huge numbers. We'll get to those in a couple of minutes with our final stats, and I don't even know if there's any discussion. I guess the discussion for your max effort player of the game, maybe we want to talk about the offensive line. Gave up some good holes, so nevertheless, the Cats get their first victory of the year, 29-24.
Yeah, almost 450 yards, unofficially 450 yards of offense. That's more than the last 2 games times 4, maybe. I'm sorry, probably not that much. But anyway, yeah, I mean, I think we saw it at the beginning of the game. We talked about how before the game how they seemed to be have a little bit of excitement, a little bit of fire underneath them. And you're right. In the second quarter, it seemed like it started really going. They had made some mistakes, but it started going. Give you the stats real quick. I'm going to run down those. Wilson ended up having 18 carries unofficially for 153 yards. Reynolds, I think, is a story. I mean, he hadn't played a whole lot. He ended up with over 100 yards, 104 yards on 20 carries. And he was carrying a lot of the bulk at the beginning as well. Also, we had those 2 counters by Percival, which he ended up with 24 yards. And then Crowley, coming in at the end of the game, he ended up with 4 carries, 33 yards. Like I said, 320 yards of rushing offense, and we had 122 yards of passing. You had Colby Knowles with 3 catches for 67 yards. You had Reynolds 2 catches for 53 yards, and you had Atkinson with 1 catch for 26 yards. But that second half, the second quarter, as we ended and came into the second half, even though we had to punt the first series, it was TD, a fumble, then downs, and that was when we were trying to run out the clock, and then obviously the end of the game. And so, I mean, I do think that we've turned the corner to a certain extent on the youth and the experience. Scoring, second quarter, Atkinson had a 26-yard TD reception, which made the score at the time 12-6. Reynolds had a 33-yard touchdown run in the third. Wilson had a 65-yard touchdown run in the third, and then Knowles had a 9-yard reception in the fourth, which therefore then made the score 29-24.
You know, what I like, one of the things I see about on the drive chart, first half there were 16 drives between the 2 teams. There was only 12 in the second half. That's what the split back veer offense, that's what a good running game does. It shortens the football game. And when you have those long drives, it chews up clock. We don't know how much clock it chewed up. Chewed up a lot. It broke the clock, apparently. But, you know, it chews up clock. The good news is, to me, we won 29-24, and I think we maybe played a C to a C- game. I mean, there's
right.
Still plenty of room for an improvement, and that tells me they're headed in the right direction, but not where they want to be.
Well, in the third quarter, we had the first series, which we took the kickoff. We had punted. Then the next 3 series, we scored touchdowns. Now, granted, the first series, the second series of that half, we had 2 plays, but 41 yards. The next series, 2 plays, 68 yards. Then the series that really did it for us, in my opinion, was the 14-play, 86-yard drive that took us to our final touchdown, which kind of sealed it in the fourth quarter. So I've got to believe that we've turned that corner. Again, getting a little bit more experience under our belts, playing some great schools that we played, and I'm sure Blue Valley is a great school as well. It was a battle tonight, obviously. Score shows it, 29-24. But we've got a win in the win column, and tough game next week, but then we move into conference.
And you avoided, we talked about how tough these first 4 games are. You avoid a possible 0-4 start, regardless of the competition you're at and what you can do the second half of the season. Your confidence could be shattered at that point, being 0-4, thinking, well, can we win a football game? And instead, it's not. Now you're 1-2. Now you're excited. You get to go home for your second game of the year. Bring in Columbia Battle and just see what can happen next Friday night. They may look at the scoreboard. There are 16 and 17-year-old kids. Columbia Battle could look at the scoreboard and say, oh, well, Kearney rolled them. Maryville rolled them. We're good,
Yeah, and they may be a lot of times teams do, especially that youth, they look past a game. And sometimes you look past a game and don't prepare for it properly. That's what gets you into trouble. So
it was a great game. It was a good win. It was a hard-fought win, Gary. That's what I like to see is down 12-0, backs against the wall. You come back and you answer and you get a victory.
Yes.
I mean, you look at it, they gave up a couple of touchdowns after that. They were down 12-0. But overall, after that, they outscored them 29-12 in the ball game. So after that first part of the first quarter, Wildcats outscored them 29-12. And obviously, the score goes a little bit goofy with all the extra points missed and chasing points and stuff. But you get a victory, you're 1-2, and makes that trip down 71 home and across 135th Street home a lot better, and it makes practice come Monday a lot more tolerable, knowing and the coaching staff to know too that you can do that.
Oh, absolutely, absolutely.
So, we're going to call it a night. We apologize to everybody for some of the issues we had on the broadcast tonight with the streaming. Sometimes when you get a lot of people on a Wi-Fi and you're in a concentrated area of population, your signal can go up and down. We're going to work. Me and Jerry have been talking. We're going to try to work on some things to get the best possible stream we can for you each and every week. We know a lot of people like to sit at home and watch these, and we want them to be able to do that without all the interruptions. So, again, your final score tonight, 29-24. The Wildcats move into the win column for the first time this year. They're 1-2, and they have Columbia Battle coming to Harrisonville next Friday. For Ron Allschlager, for Jerry Forsler, for Gary Davidson, I'm Chad Grammer saying good night from Overland Park. We'll see you next Friday in Harrisonville.